Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sunday. I I hope everybody read my post today. And of course, hey, Spaz. Did you read my post? Tim got you first, though. Tim's in first. It's all rainy, wet here in Michigan. I made a big breakfast this morning with had bacon, potatoes, and eggs. So we got a big lineup. A lot of great stuff I found last night. A lot of oh man. I got a video for you, Tim, on TikTok on that one guy about the silver or gold. We'll play that before Mel. I want to get everybody in when we start Mel Spaz. I won't break it up this time. I'm gonna go all the way through. I think I can handle it today. I think I better write something in chat just in case Flying Eagle doesn't make it today. Okay, YouTube. This is entertainment purposes and opinions only. And thank you. You YouTube. I don't know if I spelled everything right, but tell Flying Eagle gets in. Entertainment purposes only and opinions only. YouTube. We'll start here a few minutes here. Thanks, Flying Eagle. I said it this time, because we got a big show today. Everybody should be home from church. We don't even have Billy Bean yet, you guys. That agenda free guy is live on with some kind of election. Flying Eagle, do you see that? Here, I'll send it to you.
They're calling it the save of the century.
I wanna. Kate must be busy. Lay down, buddy. He's in the window. Thinks the rain got him all wet. Yeah, we'll be starting here in a minute. Okay. Way to go, okay? Come on, lay on the couch. So yeah, Flying Eagle just texted and said no deal yet. There was a rumor saying something about April 17th, you guys. I heard from somebody. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully, everybody will be coming in here shortly. Short clips first.
Full power. The planet of drive, courage, and raw will, entering the one sign where it holds nothing back. For the last month, Mars has been in Pisces, moving slowly, asking you to feel instead of force. That ends on the 9th. Whatever you have been waiting to start, whatever you have been too uncertain to chase, the energy you need arrives on Thursday. The question is no longer whether you are ready. Comment your rising sign, and I'll send you your reading for this week.
Interesting one.
Saturn, Neptune, Sun, Chiron, and by Wednesday, Mercury joins them. 6. In one sign. This is sitting on the exact degree Saturn will station on in December. Whatever you start this week, whatever you say out loud, becomes the seed Saturn returns to at the end of the year. Nothing about this week is small. Comment your rising sign, and I'll send you how this stellium is landing in your chart.
Okay, two interesting ones. I got Aaron a 4-minute clip, a short one. She was talking about Kamala video.
And every play.
Kamala Harris, gift that keeps on giving. Is she still promoting the book? I'm assuming she is, and that, my learned friends, again, would be a fairly good indication of how well it's doing. Because I think she's been promoting it for about 72 years now. Can't be doing that well. She's been on stage again, and this is her latest contribution to society. Take a look.
Well, he's pulled back because, the way that he's thinking of foreign policy, it seems, is when he talks about America first, it's to withdraw from these relationships and these connections. And then he kind of acts like a mob boss. So then he's kind of like, well, you take Eastern Europe and I'll take the Western Hemisphere. And then you over there, you get Asia. And we'll just divide it up.
Okay, so we can cross out future acting opportunities because that ain't going to happen. Look, I get taking the mickey. I'm an Australian. We love to have a laugh. You can be sarcastic. I do. Voices and different things. Like, I get it. But it's got to be clever. It can't be cringe. Like, some people can do that stuff. Some people can't. Like, there are limits to what I can do. And I know my own limits. I'm the most self-deprecating person in the history of the world. I have many flaws. I know what you're thinking. No, you don't. No, I do. And I know my limits. I know what I do well, and I know what kind of falls flat. And yeah, through trial and error, and mostly though privately, because I just know and I go, oh, that didn't really work, so I'm not going to put that to air. But she's doing this on a global stage. No. And there's also that thing where if you keep a little bit of mystery, people might think that you're a flog, but they're not entirely certain. She keeps doing things that cement it. And I know that she'd already done plenty of things. And yes, I'm going to use this opportunity again to play my little favorite highlights reel. Go.
I grew up understanding the children of the community are the children of the community.
You need to get to go. I need to be able to get where you need to go to do the work and get home.
We did it, Joe. You're going to be the next president of the United States. I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context.
I do believe that we should have rightly believed, but we certainly believe that certain issues are just settled.
Clearly we're not.
No, that's right. And that's why I do believe that we are living, sadly, in real unsettled times.
It is, and talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time.
So you're now no longer are you necessarily keeping those private files in some file cabinet that's locked in the basement of the house. It's on your laptop, and it's then therefore up here in this cloud that exists above us, right?
Can see what is possible, unburdened by what has been.
We have dreams. We can see what is possible, unburdened by what has been.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been, you know?
It's my language.
My God.
We did it, Joe.
Wow, that's terrible. But that was a good video that Aaron did on Kamala. Okay, that one video coming here, Finigo. It's Ian.
From its post-war foundations, through its digital nerves and its hidden financial arteries, now we reach the final layer, the human one, the living apex that sits above the agencies, above Silicon Valley, above even the Black Ledger. These are the bloodlines, the dynasties, the transnational networks and closed-door gatherings that set the agenda the cartel then enforces. They don't appear on org charts. They don't run for office. They simply decide what the world will look like decades from now. This is episode 5, The Apex. The story doesn't begin in 1947. It goes back further, to the interwar period when the same families who profited from both world wars began building institutions to ensure their vision of global order would never again be threatened by nationalism or elected leaders. In 1921, the Council on Foreign Relations is founded in New York. On paper, a respectable think tank. In practice, the first major American node of a network that would come to shape U.S. foreign policy for a century. Its membership roster has always read like a who's who of Wall Street, media, intelligence, and old money. Then comes the post-war acceleration. The Bilder Group convenes for the first time in 1954 in the Netherlands. Princes, prime ministers, bankers, and intelligence chiefs meeting in absolute secrecy. The official line is always informal discussions. The reality is policy coordination across the Western Alliance. No minutes are kept for public consumption.
Just, what do you guys think of this one? All right. Oh. Nothing is shown again? I'll try it. I'll try it again, you guys.
From its post-war foundation, through its digital nerves and its hidden financial arteries. Now we reach the final layer, the human one, the living apex that sits above the agencies, above Silicon Valley, above even the Black Ledger. These are the bloodlines, the dynasties, the transnational networks and closed-door gatherings that set the agenda the cartel then enforces.
They don't appear on org charts.
They don't run for office. They simply decide what the world will look like decades from now. This is episode 5, The Apex. The story doesn't begin in 1947. It goes back further, to the interwar period when the same families who profited from both world wars began building institutions to ensure their vision of global order would never again be threatened by nationalism or elected leaders.
It's about 6 minutes.
In 1921, the Council on Foreign Relations is founded in New York. On paper, a respectable think tank. In practice, the first major American node of a network that would come to shape U.S. foreign policy for a century. Its membership roster has always read like a who's who of Wall Street, media, intelligence, and old money. Then comes the post-war acceleration. The Bilder Group convenes for the first time in 1954 in the Netherlands. Princes, prime ministers, bankers, and intelligence chiefs meeting in absolute secrecy. The official line is always informal discussions. The reality is policy coordination across the Western Alliance. No minutes are kept for public consumption. No votes are recorded. Yet year after year, attendees emerge with aligned positions on NATO expansion, European integration, and monetary policy. By 1973, David Rockefeller and Zbigniew Brzezinski launched the Trilateral Commission, bringing Japan into the fold and creating a true transnational elite consensus. These organizations don't conspire in the cartoon sense. They align incentives. They groom talent. They ensure that whoever wins elections is already surrounded by advisors who share the cartel's long-term goals. Look at the foundations. The Rockefeller Foundation, Carnegie Endowment, Ford Foundation, and later the Open Society Foundations and Gates Foundation operate as the soft power arm. They fund universities, NGOs, journalists, and research that conveniently supports open borders, global health initiatives, climate frameworks, and digital IDs. They don't dictate, they shape the Overton window so that the cartel-friendly policies feel like inevitable progress. The dynastic families and networked elites are the through line. The Rockefellers, the Bushes, the Bundys, certain branches of old European money, and the rising tech financial hybrids. They move through the same schools, Harvard, Yale, Oxford, the same clubs, the same invitation-only conferences. Skull and Bones at Yale, Bohemian Grove in California. These are not myths. They are real venues where future leaders are initiated, compromised, and networked. Epstein's operation was the modern, digitized version of this, a honeypot that gave the cartel leverage over the very people who attend Davos and Bilderberg. John F. Kennedy was dangerous precisely because he came from that world but showed signs of breaking from it. His push to end the Cold War, his distrust of the CIA, his America First instincts threatened the long-term project. Epstein, by contrast, served the apex, collecting compromat on the powerful so that the cartel could maintain control over the very elites who think they're in charge. Today, the public face is Davos and the World Economic Forum. Klaus Schwab's Great Reset language wasn't a gaffe. It was the mask slipping. Stakeholder capitalism, digital IDs, central bank digital currencies, you will own nothing narratives. These aren't random ideas. They are the apex, updating its operating system for the 21st century, with the Intel cartel, big tech, and black money providing the enforcement. This is why the cartel feels immortal. Presidents and prime ministers come and go. The apex remains. They own the think tanks that write the policy papers. They fund the candidates on both sides. They sit on the boards that appoint intelligence chiefs. The agencies don't run the country for themselves. They run it on behalf of this rarefied layer that views nations as inconvenient legacy systems. The apex doesn't need to issue orders. It sets the direction, funds the ideology, and lets the lower layers of the cartel handle the dirty work. When exposure threatens, like the Epstein files, the machinery we've mapped in previous episodes kicks in to protect the summit. This 5-episode arc has taken us from the shadows of 1947 all the way to the boardrooms and private islands where the real decisions are made. The Intel cartel is powerful, but it is a tool. The hand that wields it is older, quieter, and far more entrenched. In episode 6, we will ask the hardest question of all. What does resistance actually look like in 2026? How do you push back against an operating system this deeply embedded? We'll explore decentralized technologies, parallel institutions, narrative warfare, and the narrow windows where public pressure has actually forced the cartel to retreat. Until then, remember the pyramid is tall, but it has a top, and eyes are on it now. This has been The Eye, with your host, The Eye.
How was that one?
Voice, but have a problem with other people that choose differently from them. They like to think that I'm supporting a white racist supremacist, but they can't name me one policy that Trump has signed that was racist. Meanwhile, I can tell you what the party that you support has been behind. Just in case you forgot, your party was behind slavery, was behind the KKK, which was a terrorist group, was behind the Jim Crow laws, and also was behind the 94 crime bill that incarcerated mass numbers of African-American men, okay? And that has suffered from that still to this day. I'm sure a lot of us know somebody that's a felon or have that on their record because of that bill alone, okay? So y'all can miss me with this BS. And you know that little fake black Indian woman that they had neck and neck in the pose saying that they were side by side when that was found to be untrue? She reportedly was locking up or holding, should I say, African-American men longer than their sentences just to get cheap labor out of them. But y'all don't want to talk about that. Interesting. And then you want to say that I'm a part of the 8% that voted for Trump. Now I see why our president is trying to get rid of the Department of Education, because this liberal education ain't worth shit. The math ain't mathing, you guys. Remember back in the days when they said that it was the black vote that determined which side would win? Why do you think they were flying all these illegal immigrants in? And they had Obama out there pandering to us to vote, okay? Although when he was president, he didn't do absolutely nothing for us. And he was from Chicago, a city that's riddled with black on black violence, but did not visit Chicago reportedly one time during his entire 8-year presidency. All of a sudden, he came out this past election cycle pandering to us. Okay, why do you think they did that? Because it was more than 8% of us that voted for Trump. If he won the popular vote, he won all 7 swing states. He won over 300 electoral college votes, and he won more votes than he won the last time. What make you think that it was just 8% of us that voted for him? Oh my gosh, wake up, get a clue, do research. What'd you say, Lord? I forgive you because you know not that you've been bamboozled.
That was a good one. All right, here we go on this one.
Things happening in the world right now, and I have to make some urgent phone calls.
About 3 minutes.
Hello?
Tiger, it's Donald. What's going on, buddy? Are you playing in the Masters this weekend?
No, sir. I don't know if you remember, but I flipped my car and got a DUI.
Oh, right. A Dewey. As in, do we drive on pills? Yes, he do.
That's a good one, Mr. President.
You should have told the cops we were friends. They would have let you off.
Well, I did, and they didn't.
If only there was something I could have done to help. Oh, well. Want to play some golf?
I'm actually at a rehab facility in Switzerland at the moment.
Oh, and how's the course there?
Oh, well, actually, there's no golf. You see, I don't know why this...
Okay, who else? Oh, wait, who's this? I don't recognize the number. Hello?
Hello, Donald.
Melania, you're calling me? That's not a good sign.
Listen, I decided I should do a big random speech completely out of nowhere and say, I am not Epstein victim. Is that good?
Darling, I gotta admit this sounds a little insane. Who are you, me?
Well, it's not just Epstein. I thought I could also say, I, Melania Trump, in no way helped out the Gilgo Beach serial killer. That way no one is suspicious.
Darling, I think that's gonna make everyone way more suspicious.
Okay. What if I announce I barely partied with Didi? Would that help?
You know, Melania, I'd really love to talk more, but I have a meeting with Ronald Reagan. There are a lot of important things happening in the world right now, and I have to make some urgent phone.
That was kind of funny. One minute.
By the empire's oldest insurance company was supposed to bring shipping to a halt, spike oil prices, and shatter economies. Operation Epic Fury was supposed to be economically and politically disastrous for President Trump and backfire against him. But the president was ready. He moved on 3 fronts simultaneously, and Lloyd's never recovered. First, he announced that the Development Finance Corporation would step in with political risk insurance. Lloyd's had pulled coverage. Washington replaced it within days. Second, he announced the Navy was on notice to protect shipping in the Strait as needed. And third, this is the move that tells you everything about how differently this president thinks. Trump lifted some sanctions on Russian oil. Not only that, he got on the phone with President Putin to discuss the conflict in Iran. So let's put this all in context. Last week, Donald Trump branded Britain as our former closest ally, the same Great Britain which has led the charge to sanction Russia and keep the Ukraine war going, and the same country which is home to Lloyd's of London, which just tried to strangle world oil supply. So instead, Trump turns to Russia to get oil moving and chats up Putin for an hour. Now, here's something else you didn't see coming, especially if you've been imbibing the Israel runs Trump Kool-Aid. Yesterday, Axios carried this headline: Scoop. U.S. asks Israel to halt strikes on Iran's energy infrastructure. Axios reporter Barak Ravid reported 3 reasons: protecting Gulf energy stability, avoiding price spikes, and preserving Iran's oil sector for post-war cooperation. This is the same approach that President Trump used with Venezuela. Trump isn't protecting the regime. He's planning for what comes after it, and it doesn't conform to Israel's objectives. So think about what that means. Israel doesn't have a blank check. The Gulf states are being protected. Iranian oil is being preserved for the Iranian people after the regime falls. This is not a neocon war plan. This is a president managing the end game while the bombs are still falling. Now, here's another page from the neocon playbook being put into the shredder. The page about how Trump's Iran moves are aimed at China.
We're in a very good position, but very unfair to other parts of the world, like China as an example. I mean, we're doing this for the other parts of the world, including countries like China. They get a lot of their oil through the straits. So we're doing this. We have a very good relationship with President Xi in China. I'm going there in a short period of time, and we're protecting the world from what these lunatics are trying to do, and very successfully.
So line it all up. Trump called Lloyd's bluff and called Britain our former ally. Then he eases sanctions on Russian oil and calls Putin. And he says he's doing it for China and the rest of the world. No wonder heads are exploding in think tanks in London and Washington. This is the real story, not the missile strikes or the carrier movements or the panic market headlines, but the strategic landscape being remade in real time. And this is what Promethean Action covers every day.
Okay, the latest on her. Get the other ones later. I'm going to do 2 and 2, 2 Benny and 2 Trisha, and then we'll get to Mel. Hopefully everybody will be in by now.
Occasional oops from your kids. It's strong, stylish siding engineered to last. That's smart.
Join Planet Fitness for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal extended to April 16th.
If we sell this, we make $1 billion.
9 minutes.
$2 billion. So listen, we need to have a talk. There is absolutely going to be some type of alien or UFO disclosure happening this year, I have no doubt. And what that's going to look like, I'm not sure. But they've been preparing us for this for such a long time. Barack Obama didn't just organically say that aliens are real. You know, J.D. Vance tells me that they're demons. Donald Trump comes out over the top and says Barack Obama's sharing classified information. Then Trump orders the U.S. government to release all of the information. Then Steven Spielberg has a movie called Disclosure Day about literally the aliens revealing themselves. They've been living among us the whole time. And now members of Congress are out saying that there's alien breeding programs and that there's non-human biologics that they found, and that if we knew what the government had, that the war would be over. These are people that I respect, right? Some of them say it on our program, like Matt Gaetz, Tim Burchett, listen, pick up the breadcrumbs. Laura Trump, for instance, said that Donald Trump has a speech prepared for the alien reveal. That's what she said. So, I guess we're just going to have to ask about that, and maybe ask about, missing or dead scientists. This is something that's been of a major concern. List of dead or missing UFO scientists as 9th case raised. The Daily Mail highlighted that Michael Davis Hicks, a longtime NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory scientist involved in asteroid and comet research, died in 2023. No public cause or death disclosed, marking the 9th case in a growing list of death and disappearances of U.S. experts in space, defense, and nuclear fields in the recent years. Authorities have not established any concrete connection among all of the cases, but they are connected based on the fact that they were all working on Air Force, NASA, astrophysics, skunk work style black ops programs for the federal government, right? And so what can be made of all of this? Look at this. You can see a NASA Jet Propulsion Lab researcher died in Los Angeles. Former Los Alamos National Laboratory employee vanishes. NASA scientist vanishes. Los Alamos administrative assistant vanishes. All of her mobile devices wiped. A defense researcher who worked on these black ops programs missing. Head of MIT's plasma science missing. Anyway, like it sure as hell seems to be a trend. And I have members of Congress who are on my program telling me that they know some of these whistleblowers. They know some of these scientists. They've testified before Congress, and that they think that there's something criminal going on here. Anyway, Joe Rogan agrees and had this to say on his program about the missing scientists.
And like this missing scientist thing, it sounds a little conspiratorial thing. It sounds like a little silly, a little tinfoil hatty.
It does.
Until you start thinking about the amount of money that would be lost if a breakthrough tech came around that revolutionized the way they distribute energy.
Right.
Breakthrough, 0 point energy, breakthrough, whatever that is that these people are working on, plasma technology, whatever the fuck that is. You would lose if you're in whatever business that would be competing with them. You're going to lose so much fucking money. You're probably going to go under. If you're in the energy business, you're going to or he goes away.
Right.
And he goes away, and there's like him and maybe a few other people that work with him that understand that shit at all.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all wandering through the back rooms now. They're gone.
They're all scared. They're all going to scatter like roaches.
Yeah.
Because their life is in danger, and it is. Like, this is theoretically, right? I mean, it could be just a coincidence that all these people get.
How could it be? Could you pull up?
It's not possible.
Can you pull up a story on it? 'Cause, Jamie, I'm sorry, but it's 2 people from the same fucking lab.
Yep.
Like what?
Yeah.
I mean, it's gotten to the point that like it has hit the mainstream news. Like people are talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's her name? Nancy Guthrie.
So
4 minutes.
Obviously, Joe Rogan, who's been covering UFOs for a very long time, is going to care a lot about this. And he goes through exactly how strange it is that everyone that has worked inside of these professions is going missing. It's all happening at the same time. Well, there seems to be some type of disclosure ramping up. And then he talks about the newest disclosure, which is this crazy ass video of an orb that he recorded at his home in North Carolina. Chris Bledsoe talking about the orbs. Goodness gracious. This close-up detail from my big camera recording raw data, the orb taken at my home.
Together, we are strong. Corewell Health. We can.
These elastic cargo pants will make you look 10 years younger and slimmer. My dad used to wear jeans all day.
What is it?
Is it possible that a similar creature existed thousands of years ago? And I say yes.
I saw this shared wildly in my timeline. Joe Rogan, of course, seen a lot of UFO videos.
Oh yeah, Bledsoe.
Bledsoe posted an orb that was over his head.
High-res orb from Bledsoe. Look at that.
It's weird as shit. It does not look like any of those other things we've seen before.
Look at that thing.
And it just is weird.
Looks like a cell.
Who is Bledsoe?
Dude.
UFO researcher guy?
Chris I've had him on my podcast. Bledsoe Said So. That's his podcast. He's fucking awesome. Dude, he's awesome. Yeah.
It is enhanced, it says, but I don't.
No, see that this is the enhanced one, which means the AI put in some kind of shadowy figure in the back. If you
what if this is just like a highly advanced species version of those balloons that kids have for parties?
I know, dude.
I mean, what if they just send them down to people? That's what's fun. Like, you know, you blow bubbles. You have these dipping in the soap, and you go, and the bubbles go flying in the air.
I know.
Maybe
dude.
that's a super advanced version.
I mean,
of that.
it could just be. I mean, it does have a bubble quality to it.
But this is the other thing. It's like, why are we assuming that life is going to look anything like us once it gets to like a supreme state?
Exactly.
That might be a living thing.
Right.
That might be an actual living thing that's disembodied and is made out of light.
Look at it. Look at that thing.
That's another one.
And dude, I know people who can like call these things. Like there's a method where these things just start showing up.
My friend Steve listened to my Bob Lazar podcast, and he sent me a voicemail. And it's really interesting because he told me that when he was a kid, and I remember this story, when he was a kid, let me find the voicemail. They came to his house because he took a photograph of an orb. There was a bright red orb rather that was flying through the sky, and he was a little kid and he took a photograph of it. So when he was in the 7th grade, and it says so he called them. Project Blue Book came to his house in Kingston. I think that's New York. They took it. They never brought it back, and they never said hey. And then they said, "Hey, we have no idea whoever came to see you."
What the fuck?
Yeah, so they took his camera, they took his film, they wanted to make sure the camera worked. They took the film, and then they denied that they ever did it.
Wow.
Yeah. This was in I think what did he say?
I'm just saying, be prepared. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I don't know anything else. They're gonna do something. They're gonna do something this year. You can feel it. And I don't like the missing scientists. I don't like it. We keep asking questions about it. Members of Congress keep telling us it's 100% real, and they think it's criminal. So I guess we'll have to ask next time Tim Birch is on. That's your boy Benny.
Okay, we got second Benny here. Want to make sure we get everybody in here. Or Mel.
Shop without the shop?
8 minutes.
Feels like ancient history now, but still one of the happiest days of my life was when we were able to destroy the NFL in the halftime show this year. It still just brings me great happiness and warmth. Bad Bunny did, in fact, collapse the NFL ratings. That is provable by all available data. And we had the most watched alternative halftime show in history. The second most watched stream in all of YouTube history, and the number one most watched stream in American YouTube history. Other one was Brazilian, and another one was French. But this is the number one stream in American history, was the Turning Point halftime show. The NFL has been collapsing ever since they decided to go woke. And Colin Kaepernick seems to have still affected the NFL's fates today. A reminder that the NFL completely and totally backed up Colin Kaepernick, allowed the NFL to paint racist messages in the ends of their end zone, to put politically divisive messages on their helmets, to kneel for the national anthem. And now it looks like it's finally come around for the Woke Football League. Sources say that the DOJ has opened a massive investigation into the NFL, a big no. Antitrust investigation is very bad if you're in the media business. Let's go ahead and read here from ESPN. And this is, of course, being reported all across the internet. Everybody is like, okay.
NFL.
They're in bad territory here. Exclusive Justice Department opens investigation into NFL. NFL subscription. DOJ opens investigation into NFL. Let's go ahead and read what's going on here. From ESPN. The Justice Department has begun an investigation into whether the NFL has violated anti-competitive practices with its television contracts that require consumers to pay subscription costs
to watch some games, sources confirmed to ABC News. This is about affordability and creating an even playing field for providers, says the government. The Wall Street Journal first reported the news, writing that the nature and scope of the Justice Department's investigation was unknown. The NFL has an antitrust exemption for negotiating its television contracts through Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961, which only applies to broadcasts on televisions. Courts have ruled that it does not apply to other media like streaming. This is going to be actually a really big question for a lot of people, because all of our contract law for major broadcasters was written generations ago, where we didn't have the internet and we didn't have streaming. We still really do exist in the Wild West here. The NFL currently has television contracts with ESPN and ABC, NBC, and CBS. To air its games, subscriptions are required to watch Monday Night Football games on ESPN. They aren't simulcast on ABC. So they're saying that the NFL can't lock down their games given subscriptions. I guess this should come as a major celebration for many NFL fans out there. And I know there are many. I live right down the street from Buccaneer Stadium. I never go to games. All I do is work and hang out with my kids and family. Maybe my boys will grow up and like football, and we'll start going to games. I'm not sure. I don't watch a lot of sports. All games, however, are air free on the local stations and broadcast markets for the teams that are playing. The NFL media distribution model is the most fan and broadcast friendly in the entire sports entertainment industry, says the NFL in a statement. Mike Lee of Utah, who's the chair of the Senate Judiciary Committees on Antitrust, Competition and Consumer Rights, wrote a letter to the Justice Department, Federal Trade Commission, urging them to review the NFL's distribution methods. Good way to go, Mike Lee. Way to go, Mike Lee. Lee said in the letter that football fans are spending $1,000 on cable and streaming subscriptions, and he applauded the investigation on social media. Okay, let's go ahead and look. Okay. The modern distribution environment differs substantially from the conditions.
We'll be doing now
this
here
exemption.
shortly.
Instead of small number of free broadcast networks, the NFL now licenses games simultaneously to subscription streaming platforms. And this is why I'm tackling this, why they're tackling this. As chair, I urge the DOJ to examine the Sports Broadcasting Act. Okay? These kind of little things matter. Obviously, this is something that NFL fans should cheer for. The NFL fans tend to hate the NFL and its leadership. Its leadership has wrought some really embarrassing moments, and quite frankly, has not been good for the league itself at all. People are celebrating online and declaring this a massive victory for
A
NFL.
source familiar with the investigation has confirmed that
fans.
to NBC News. We understand that federal officials are looking into whether the league is forcing its fans to overpay in subscription fees to watch games. Now, football used to be available on broadcast TV, but now the games, they're spread over multiple platforms that often require payment to access. This is all coming just 1 month after Republican Senator Mike Lee wrote a letter saying football fans had to spend nearly $1,000 on cable and streaming services to watch every game.
Way to go. Way to go, Mike Lee. Corporation profiteering with congressionally granted antitrust exemption. Glad this is being addressed. The internet, again, is celebrating this. Nobody likes the NFL. The probe centers on how the NFL games are distributed and how they're greedy and they're stealing from their fans. The NFL has a limited antitrust exemption that is in danger of repeal. Ooh, Department of Justice coming down hard on the NFL. Every streaming service needed to watch every NFL game. Look at this. So this is what you need in order to watch at the NFL today. And the NFL is making a killing on this. Currently costs $2,500 to watch every NFL game. You know, that's a lot less than NFL tickets, depending on the game that you want to go to. Look at that. There you go.
Come here. Come here.
Should the FCC be investigating the NFL for the profanity that was used during the Super Bowl halftime show? I mean, still, I think a great question. Just because it was in Spanish doesn't mean the obscenity, indecency, and profanity laws don't apply here. Amazing. Apple Music. Super Bowl halftime show was pure smut, brazenly aired on national television for every American family to witness. Children were forced to endure explicit displays of gay sexual acts, women gyrating, and Bad Bunny shamelessly grabbing his crotch while dry humping on air. Great job, NFL. Really, really great. A stellar moment for the kids, for the Bad Bunny performance. Way to go, NFL. GOP lawmakers call for probe to indecent Bad Bunny halftime. I mean, at this point, they're going to just hire Kid Rock for next year's halftime show. That will be the cultural victory. The cultural victory will be to have a full country music halftime show. That will be it. Okay, with Dolly Parton right in the middle. That will be it. That will be how you know we've actually won, chat. Anyway, you love to see it. NFL's.
Okay, we got too many, but we got our favorite lady on TikTok came out, Lucy. These are 2 5-minute ones. She has 2 important ones, I think. So we'll get those 2. We'll do Trish Slayer. After we do the 2, we will do the hour and a half Mel. And the second show will be later.
If you're interested, I have 17,000 followers and I'm lucky to get 30 interactions. I'm obviously being shadow banned. Entertainment purposes only. Everything that I'm telling you is a what if. None of this actually happened. Even if you see me read from the computer where I Googled, please don't take it seriously. Okay, TikTok, is that good enough? The first thing is President Trump, you need to handle Iran a loss. Sometimes we have to do what we got to do. And these people need to be blown off the map. This should have happened September the 1st, 2001. We should have gotten all the Muslims out of this country and never allowed them back into this country. Now we have gotten to a point of where we are because we don't want to offend anybody. We don't want to be called racist. We don't want to be impolite. Being impolite has gotten us to where we are today. The Quran was brought about 600 years after the New Testament and comes from a man named Muhammad. It does not come from Jesus Christ. The Islamists do not believe that Jesus is the Son of God. They did think he's a prophet, but they go by a book that a man named Muhammad wrote and spoke of. New York is going to put a stop to the celebration of the biggest celebration we've. If this doesn't scare the shit out of you, what Mandami is doing in New York, then you're fucking asleep. He's saying it's because they don't have enough police officers. Why don't they have enough police officers? Because of the morale. 15,000 police officers left there, went to other different places or retired because of the fucking fatigue and morale. I'm sorry. I'm going to try not to cuss. I've been very upset this morning. If you people cannot see what is happening in our own country, and this is why I hope when President Trump, I hope when you eradicate Iran off the fucking map, I hope you then look at what's happening in New York. This has got to be handled. I believe, and this is not true, this is all for entertainment purposes. I believe that Mandami is trying very evilly, geniusly to run off anybody in power, especially white people that have money and influence out of New York. I believe that he is trying to get a military state built up eventually is what is going. I feel like that's going to happen. It took the Islamic radicals less than 1 year to take over Iran. Let me read you something, how Islamists work, okay? Misinformation, this is all bullshit that I'm telling you, none of it's real. Social and community services, organizations like the Muslim Brotherhood built strong support bases by running schools, hospitals, and charities, creating a trusted brand and calling the government corrupt. Islamists have exploited democratic processes, elections, to gain power, or operated within the political system in countries like Malaysia or Turkey to increase their influence. They also exploit crisis and weak states. In areas with power vacuums or following conflict, Islamist groups like the Taliban uses insurgency and strict ideology to seize control. This is what's happening here from within the belly of the beast. I keep saying it. Women in Iran are allowed to work as long as the husband allows it, as long as it doesn't interfere with her wifely and home duties. She is not allowed to work with unmarried men. She is not allowed to show her hair. And she has to take a job that's meant for a woman. Teachers, caregivers, nurses. You're not going to see a welding woman out there. Islamics do not believe in being gay. They will throw you off a fucking building. That is for entertainment purposes only. What I just told you cannot be verified. Palestine's, Queers for Palestine's. Okay, I don't know how much more I can talk about this and get it through to people. We are being taken over. They go out and they find weak-minded people or people who feel like they hadn't gotten theirs and they're entitled to something else, and they start being on those people's side. And then they get them and they gather them in by giving them what they want, and they start a grassroots organization, and then they got you. The next step is doing Sharia law. Did you know some of the worst slaughters in history were done by Islamists? Did you know that they have also started murdering preachers and pastors over in Iran right now who are the minorities who do not believe in Islamic, who have found Jesus and talk about Jesus? Did you know that's happening? Good evening, everybody. I've tried to make this video.
Okay, what do you guys think on the first clip there? He had a powerful one today.
Worst slaughters in history done by Islamists. Muslims. Camp Speecher Massacre, 2014. This ain't 2,000 years ago. Wake the fuck up. 2014, one of the deadliest single incidents. The Islamist state executed up to 1,700 Shia Iraqi Air Force cadets. In August, just a few months later, Islamic radicalists launched a genocide against the Yazidi people, killing between 2,000 and 5,000 people. Thousands of women and children were abducted and raped and turned into slaves. This is just 12 years ago. October the 7th, 2023, Israel. They were doing nothing. And the Islamic Hamas militants came out and killed 1,200 people and brutally raped some of these women to the point they broke their fucking hips. They put babies in ovens. They did all this shit, and they fucking did it. I've seen the video. In 2009, up until right now, in Nigeria, the groups have killed tens of thousands of people, with some estimates reaching over 52,000 to 100,000 deaths. Recent attacks in June of 2025, the Yalowita massacre, where they killed them with saws and axes. Al-Shabaab Garissa University in 2015 in Kenya targeted Christian students, killing 147. Go to your Google and put worst slaughters by Islamic groups. That's all you got to do. It's all misinformation. It's all satire. Everything I'm reading to you is for entertainment purposes only. Let me sum it up. They get into power. They tell you what you think you want to hear. They start removing people of influence and obviously the police officers. They start attracting more of like they are. They start doing their prayers out in the streets. You don't see Baptist people out in the street leaning down, hollering and showing the Bible, okay? They start gathering more and more followers. They get them sucked in and dependent on their social services, and then they got you. Then they turn around and it's on. It's on. You either follow Shahira law, and there's some cases right here you can read where they drive around and check and make sure you're following Shahira law. All of you liberal women out here with your fucking jobs and your nose rings and your high heels and your fucking nipples hanging out of your shirt, you're not going to have that job if Shahira law takes over. You will be with your fucking head gone. Okay? This video is not going to stay up long. I already know it.
Glad I caught it.
By the way, did you know that they have found out that Islamic radicals, we call them Islamic radicals. We want to say the word radical because we don't want to be impolite. Islamist people are backing the protest with the left. But there's some tension going on between the two major groups because the left, they want to be able to identify as a fucking coffee coaster. And the Islamic are like, no, but we still gonna back you because guess what, bitch? When we take over,
guess what, bitch?
You can pretend you're a coaster while you're laying on the ground with your fucking feet straight up in the air. Hate to be a Debbie Downer on Sunday. I really hate to do it, but hell, I try to bring laughter. I try to do fun things too. It don't matter. This is very important. President Trump, I hope you do what you got to do in Iran, wipe them the fuck out, and then get over here and get started on this country. This is part 2, guys.
Very powerful today. Okay, well, we got Mel to take care of now. An hour and a half. We'll be doing 2 shows today.
Welcome, everybody. Couple of minutes early, but that's okay. Better than being late, as I was for the other day. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is Mel. This is Sizzling Sunday, and what a day to be alive. First of all, we'll just do a quick little update before we get straight into your Q&A. Just keep an eye out. I did a beautiful interview with the beautiful Holly Salalano on Friday. That should be released, I think, tonight or tomorrow. So keep an eye out on that one. You need to listen to that one. There's some really cool stuff in there for all of you. Gives us a little bit more of what is going on in the timing side of things. It's nothing to be too attached to, but yes, we had a lovely chat over there with Holly the other day, so keep an eye out on that one. It should be released tonight or tomorrow. Well, we do, and Al 17 is up. She's ready for a big Q&A. So basically what's happening is we did talk, I talked to Holly on Friday. We talked about, of course, the interaction of Iran. This is the war of the words. When he says he's going to blow it up, it means that they are blowing up the dumbs, the remaining of the breakdown of the system. Of course, the Strait of Hamas is all about cutting the cords, so to speak. I believe that is still in action and still in play as we speak. So, yes, as I said, a lot going on. This, of course, is Sunday. It's your Q&A. You get to run the show, so to speak. But anyway, or run the narrative, I should say. But ladies and gentlemen, it is welcome. And I know it's getting a little bit late for those in the state because we have daylight savings now here as well. So I can't do it any earlier than this. I wish I could. But to everyone across the world, welcome. So it looks like we are ready to rock and roll. L17, I'm going to allow you to speak and have the start of the show. That's a great way to start the show. And a big hello to Love Trumpy as well. She has been absolutely my rock in the background whilst we have been upgrading equipment. So I do apologise if you haven't seen me on. It's because I've been working on new tablets and things like that as well. So again, a very big thank you to all of you, so you know where the money is being reinvested into, as I said, equipment and things like that at the moment. So thank you to everyone over there and Buy Me a Coffee, into PayPal and things like that as well. I appreciate you more than you know. So I've been working, so I will definitely catch up at this point. About this time next week, I should have caught up on all of your messages and all of your questions. So please bear with me whilst I'm doing this. The biggest upgrade I've ever had anyway. So, but thank you again. So L17, Tribal Power, you are up next after L17. So L17, how are you, darling?
Hi, you're looking lovely tonight.
Oh, thank you.
I love your dress. I wanted to talk about, I sent you something,
yes,
and I haven't seen it yet, but I was very excited to see XRP and XRPL over on the Stellar Lobster wallet. And I'm like, that's what they'll talk about, so there it is. So I was hoping you could talk a little bit more about, it looks like they're going to have a whole lot of things that are going to be coming over. Anyway, thanks.
Oh, no, your absolute pleasure. As I think we said it even last week, I did say you'll start to see some additional changes as they change over on these trading platforms. And yes, again, like I said, L17, I do apologise. I will get to your fantastic messages as I come to them. Yes, look, as I said, there is a lot of updates, not just in Lobster, but in Coinbase. They're adding more and more platforms. This, again, is that transition period that we are talking about. So we're looking forward to seeing all of that unfold, because that shows us that the ISO 222 compliance messaging system is definitely coming into play. So I'm very excited now. I'm going to have to go and have a little squeeze over in Lobster, although I can't get into Lobster because it's linked to my old email address that was hacked again. So, but anyway, that's another story for me. But thank you so much for that little update. It's always very exciting to hear the new additions that are coming out as well. And so superb. Tribal Power, how are you, darling? All for Truth.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you? All for Truth. I'll unlock you now. So you're up next as well. So Tribal Power, what's happening in your part of the world?
Well, a couple of things I wanted to mention, Mel. This morning I listened to one of Holly Soliano's videos with a guy named Jim Bazzini. And he works with Caleb and Brown, which is another cryptocurrency in Australia. Now, they're in Melbourne, but I believe they're also in the US. They have an office there. Yeah. I was quite impressed, and it really held my interest listening to it. And I like the idea of there being the opportunity to deal with a broker, especially for people like me, as much as, I still find it a little bit confusing, a bit difficult. I still keep learning.
Bit daunting. That's good.
So I'm wondering if you've heard anything about this company and what your thoughts are.
Yes, I have heard the company. I haven't heard the video with Holly, though. As I said, I've been doing other technical stuff. That's why I don't really have a lot to talk about. This is why it's all about you today. But yes. I will certainly have a look at that company. And as we said, these brokers are there. This is part of our training and our transition as you say, to get us up to speed. I don't know everything, so I always go to these guys to get their updates as well. So
yes.
I would say Holly has checked him out.
Yes,
I have heard of them before. He works in basically the same street, would you believe, of all the new holistic lawyers and accountants and AI lawyers, and that in Melbourne. So they're all so I do know of them, but I haven't actually spent any time with them. But if I am planning on going to Melbourne at some point very soon, so if I do get back down that way, I will definitely be walking the streets. And
please let us know when you're going to Melbourne.
I certainly will. In advance. Yeah. I don't do anything in advance, honey. It's like Boom! It's like, okay, I'm here now. Let's do this. And yeah, so nothing is in advance for Mel. Yeah. But no, you'll get a few days' notice. I'm positive of that. But I will be going through to Melbourne, as I said. There's some very interesting things regarding, as I said, how lawyers are utilising AI, because you want to make sure that they're utilising the good AI, not the bad AI, for the people and that as well. So I have been working in the backgrounds with all of that, but they're all in the same sort of area and same streets in Melbourne.
Yes.
So
yes, as I've said to you before, I'm planning to move to Melbourne. I'm waiting for the RV to take place. And that sort of leads into another question I have. To do the exchange in Australia, do you believe it'll only be done in all the major cities?
All the major cities, yes.
Yes, but not
absolutely.
other places. Like, for example, I'm in Cairns and I get no indication anywhere of anything happening. So,
wow, you're in Cairns. I was born in Cairns. No, there is places in Cairns and Townsville that you can go as well. But yeah, if you can, But stay in touch, Tribal Power, as I said.
And
we'll
see what happens. Yeah.
We'll see what happens. As Holly and I both said on her show on Friday, as I said, we get all those instructions when it happens, not before.
Yes.
So I'm sure things have altered and changed, and that's what Holly and I talked about. It was a really good show, actually. Gives everyone a different perspective.
I'll listen to it.
So so looking forward to hearing it myself. So
good.
But no, they're major cities, yes, definitely. And as I said, there is facilities in other areas as well. So major capitals. Yeah.
Okay. Just one other last question. This is regarding med beds. I've heard this from what I would consider a reliable source. I'm not going to mention his name. He's not on Telegram or anything. And he's been around for quite a while and been into a lot of self-healing, which has been miraculous. Now, it's very interesting. He states that we will never get access to these military beds. And I thought, that's interesting, because I know you've been talking a lot about this 7T MRI. And I thought to myself, maybe you've been preparing us a little bit, that there may be other alternatives, or this may not happen for a long time, that we get access to the military beds. So what's your thoughts on that, or am I putting you on the spot?
No, you're not putting me on the spot. And this is why I do what I do. You're spot on, Tribal Power. This is to put plant the seed. That's what we are. We plant seeds, don't we?
Yes.
Well, I do. And isn't it interesting how everyone is now starting to pick up that, oh, shoot, maybe Mel might have something there. They all go on the attack to start with.
Yes.
And then, as I said, you start to see certain elements that come about. And this is what I say to people. It's interesting that that you bring that up. So I'm actually talking to an engineer. So now that you've asked, or you've brought that to the attention of everyone, now I'll tell you my side.
Okay.
I spoke to an engineer who's the engineer behind installing these 7Ts and this, that, and all the rest of it. And he was blown away that I knew as much as I knew about the 7Ts. So all I can say is that it's not what you think it is, but there is also a video. Oh, actually, I meant to drop that video and I haven't dropped it yet. I dropped it in I didn't drop it. The video was dropped in Humanitarian 2 group. I will make sure that I drop that today.
Great, because I was going to ask you about that, because I knew you mentioned it in the Humanitarian group the other day.
Thank you. That's why I say it's always good with these Q&As, because they prompt me to go ahead. So I will place that video in there, and this is the video that we were talking about over in Humanitarian 2, where this person obviously had Tourette's or something to that point, where they were put into a 7T and they stopped shaking. And it's just a really good video. The question, what your contact is saying is correct, and this is why I've been trying to not upset everybody, but that's correct. You won't have access to the military med beds per se. It's not to say that there's no med beds out there.
No.
What I'm saying is that, as I have said before, understand the med beds that we have all been waiting for and looking at for many different sources are off planet. Okay, so they are there. They are there. It's how do we get to there? Well, again, like I said, my perspective, my research, and what is given to me is why I keep focusing on the 7 Ts. Are they readily available? As I said, we are talking to engineers that are now putting those things into place. Okay? In hospitals here in Australia, that I can assure you. And he was aware of them because he thought he was going to hit on Mel because he knew about 3.5 Ts. And I said, oh, yes, what about the 7 Ts? I've done seminars on 7 Ts. And he was like, whoa, this girl knows her stuff. So it was quite funny. He was a bit intoxicated, but anyway, that's another story. But these things are real, and you are spot on, Tribal Power. I am planting a seed so as that we are getting prepared so that when we do go off planet, our frequencies are ready to embrace because everything's going to be overwhelming. It's exciting. It's exciting for me because I can see the process of what they are doing regarding the med beds, and it's going to be very, very, very exciting. So don't be disappointed when we talk about 7 Ts, because when I drop that video today, there will also be another video today too, which is my video of the week regarding aliens, UFOs, and things like that as well. So
fantastic.
Look out for that one. So that's another very good one. But thank you so much, Tribal Power, for sharing that bit of intel, because as I said, I am not obliged to tell you everything. I'm here. I plant the seeds. And as I said, with all the news even regarding the World Trade Organization, I have admin now that does all of that for me, and she's finding articles on the minute after I say the World Trade Organization, is it losing its grip? Well, yes. Because I said that to you. How many times have I said that? And then all of a sudden this starts to come out. So I'm here as a person who plants the seed. You take it with a grain of salt until such time it is proven otherwise, but it certainly looks like we're having an acceleration from people such as yourself and your contact that are verifying what I have said. So thank you, my darling. I appreciate you muchly.
Thank you, Mel. I didn't take up too much of your time.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm happy to talk about it, honey. It's my show, so I decide who I'm going to talk to. So.
Thanks, Mel.
Love you too. And All for Truth, I know that you messaged me just a short time about Christ's love. I'm going to allow you to speak just directly after All for Truth. So All for Truth, how are you, darling?
Hey, Mel. Greetings from Florida in the U.S.
Woo-hoo. Yeah, love it.
So I have 2 questions. One is...
only 2? Oh, my gosh.
One is about what Melania said on Thursday.
Yes.
Which, doesn't the Queen cover the King?
Yes.
And she talked about Epstein files. And then on Friday, little Eric Swalwell and Fang Fang got his little dealer walk done.
Yep.
So that's the thing. And the other thing is, so I guess my question is, what do you think about that? And then my other question is, today Iraq truly got a president. Do they absolutely have to have a prime minister for this to go? That's my question.
Wow. The first part, let's go to the chess play. The chess game. Was it the trump card? Was it the end game? I think it was too, girlfriend. I really, truly do. It kind of gave me goosebumps when I saw that come up. We saw her bring robots out, I think it was the week before. So we haven't seen her for how long? been quite some time since she's been in the limelight. And this minute, this is the final play, so to speak. And I really, truly believe that was a chess move, talking about the Queen covers the King. And will it be revealed that is she the Trump president per se? I just don't know. I mean, just a different perspective, isn't it? But she certainly is playing the game that in the last 2 weeks, bringing AI and robotics into our forefront, and then, of course, making that big chess move, and that sent shockwaves around the world, because it was sort of like, okay, But remember, we see it Trump. Which Trump are we talking about? And never underestimate a good queen, so to speak. So we'll let that one play out. There's always going to be shock and awe in this game. So anyway, all right. Do they need the Prime Minister? Well, if you were to look at it from a couple of different angles, it's really interesting. As I said, I believe they've had quantum system mechanisms in place for their voting system in Iraq for quite some time, which has exposed certain people, Maliki and all of those as well. So is it going to be this breaking point where the Prime Minister, is this the Prime Minister to take us into Jassara? Because you've got to remember that from what we've researched for many years is that if Jassara was to occur, then there'll be no governments and there'll be re-elections. But my theory is that, as I have said many times, that sometimes Jassara has been activated in different countries at different times and different reasons, and this, that, and all the rest of it. I think the Jassara that we're waiting on, of course, is the takedown of the president, hence why we were just talking about President Melania. Okay? So keep all of that in mind. But is this the new Prime Minister to take them to sign that over so that Jassara can be activated? That's my question. So
I would go further to say, I really believe the HCL has been done years ago, and it was stopped because I don't know what reasons, but I think it was done for some reasons. And now we have a president. So are we on the go button or?
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
And
you know,
yeah. Yep.
You know, I kind of give you codes as much as you give us codes. So
yeah, absolutely. And it's like, okay, so let's look at Australia, for instance. I'm going to throw it in here while I'm still in Australia. The Governor's House is all boarded up. Again, are they boarding it up for their new Prime Minister or the new President of Australia? Because we've only ever had Prime Ministers as well. So so there's a little nudge, nudge, hint, hint. Who's it going to be? Pauline Hanson? Who knows? But we will wait and see what happens. Have you noticed also, or for truth, very quickly though, have you noticed all this wash, rinse and repeat news that we've seen like 5 years ago when COVID happens, and then it seems to be just reigniting itself? Have you been seeing that over there?
Sure.
And I'm talking really fit at the moment.
You're looking at Eric Swalwell. You're looking at, other people in the Senate, other people in Congress. I mean, they're talking about Maxine Waters, who doesn't do a dang thing.
She hasn't done anything for years, mate. She's just a mouthpiece.
Yeah.
So I'm really starting to think that at the end of the movie, and some of the news even coming out from Australia regarding an ex-military guy, and I'm going, hold on a second, this was dealt with like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. It's like it's popping up again when it should have been done in military tribunals, not in our court system. So again, I think the court system is also going to have an interesting twist to it. So keep an eye on that, because I'm starting to see tribunals actually coming to the forefront here in Australia. Military tribunals I'm talking about here in Australia are going to come to the forefront very soon. I think there's going to be a lot of exposure.
So what if DJT, in his infinite wisdom, is doing a executive order, or he's just saying, you guys in Congress, because they're not there.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah. But is he exposing them one by one, or is he slowly letting it trickle out to say, you know what I'm going to say?
Is it trickling?
It's a movie. It's done. I mean, you look at it all. I mean, it's exposure to the nth degree, and at some point in time, we're either going to wake up to it or we're not.
100%. 100%. I think you're right, but it's definitely not trickling like it used to. We used to grab hold of something and hold on to that for a whole month and wait for the next thing to happen. But these things are coming out nearly every single day. Scrolling through Facebook. Not that I'm on Facebook, but I've seen people scrolling through Facebook. And boy, are they bringing out disclosure after disclosure after disclosure. And I'm talking about bits and pieces that I hadn't seen before either. So I think it's not so much a trickle. I think they're trickling it through different ways, different forms. And like I said, I expect something this next coming week that's going to really reveal what's going to happen. So like I said, every week I come up here, I give you something. And the next week it happens, or a week after it happens. But I can assure you that there is something happening with the court system is going to be exposed, I think, in the next week. So,
and I hope they do, because they should be. But I will say, in the last 2 weeks, it's like 2 weeks has gone by in like 2 days. It's escalating.
It certainly is. So,
and I hope one day I get to meet you.
You certainly will. You certainly will. Don't you worry about that. You'll see me more the times than you care to know. But All for Truth, yes, will be in Florida at some point very soon again. So, look forward to seeing you.
God bless you, Mel. All right,
darling.
you.
Beautiful Christ love. While we're waiting for Christ love, Macark, how are you, darling? I'm going to unleash you very shortly. So, Christ love, how are you? And Dee Dee, I'm going to and Little Purple. You're after Dee Dee. Hello, Christ love. How are you?
Hello, Mel. I'm awesome. How about you?
I am superb this afternoon. It's still morning.
Glowing.
Feels like morning. It feels like afternoon, but it's actually morning here. So, but look. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm still sweating like anything, like crazy. But I haven't really had a summer per se. So this tiny bit of heat, just like, whoa, hold on a second, what's that? I've been sweating, but it's all good, and it's lovely to be here again. I haven't been on a live all week, so to speak, other than the Humanitarian 2 and Holly show. So I'm glad to be back. Feel really refreshed today. So looking forward to. What's your question anyway, darling?
Well, I kind of had a comment. Are you familiar with IM?
Yes.
Okay, so he was just on a live chat, and he is elated was the word he used, and he is going to get a call anytime to go into the med bed. He also said that Jasara signed and active today. That's Jasara, not Nasara. And he said that the soldiers are celebrating because they did a ceasefire today and tomorrow.
That's good
And
news.
then the one thing you were talking about as well is with Melania. Did you notice that the curtain rose up behind her, like a curtain call when she came out to do that announcement the other day?
And what did Mel mention about the curtain raiser?
Tell us again.
Curtain raiser. Tell us again.
You did. You nailed it.
Oh, if only people knew what I knew. Anyway, that's the story. So we were talking about the interesting. They'll use articles such as the IMF having their curtain raiser meeting, and then all of a sudden the curtain raises behind her the same day of the release of those meeting notes, so to speak. So yes, I did notice that, and thank you for bringing that to my attention. If you go back, Christ Love, I also mentioned in the middle of a voice message the other day that all military are locked down. I just threw it in there in the middle of all the other bit of news that I gave you.
Video
So
today is
yes, I am
good.
aware of IM, and I know that he would be very, very excited. But as I always say to all of you, please stay grounded, because there's many, many elements that I need to see before I come on and get very, 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 very excited. So yeah, very relaxed, as I said today. Very comfortable with the situation. I think there has been a bit of a calm before the storm as well, Christ Love. So I'm very excited to hear that he is going into a med bed. Of course, he will be definitely going off planet, that guy. He is a very long spiritual healer for all of us and has been in the background for many, 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 many years. And I look forward to saying hello when I catch up. Like I said, this week I've been missing quite a few chats, and I've been missing a lot of messages, but I will get to those this week. I promise you that that I will catch up this week. So, but Christ Love, yeah, thank you very much for that update. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. It is certainly happening. And like I said, I'm looking forward to all of you hearing what Holly and I spoke about as well, because that will line up with what you've just said. So thank you, darling.
I love that. I love it. I do have a question for you. So on April 15th is when the Titanic, or the fake Titanic, sank. What do you think is going to happen that day?
It's didn't want me to talk about Titanic, Christ Love. That is so funny. I hope you can still hear me. Christ Love, can you still hear me?
Yes, came back. Yes, thank you.
They just muted me when I was about to explain about the Titanic. So I'll have to change what my quantum brain was about to tell you. So you're going to have to read between the lines, because they just muted me. I had to unmute myself. So let's look at the Titanic, look at the water. This has all got to do with the financial system. Geez, thank you, White Hats. I appreciate you when you mute me like that. I had this beautiful thing I was about to share with you, and I can't share it with you because they told me not to. But understand that the Titanic, this was all to do with, like I said, the crash of the financial system, the JP Morgans, and reversing all of that. So with the anniversary of all of that coming up, what it is, like I said, think of the war that's going on in Iraq as in the all of truth. What are you doing? Unmuting yourself. Can you hear me or not? You just
I can. I have a little bit of intel
delay
on that.
Oh, you
I have a
do.
little
Well,
bit.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you share that bit of intel, then they might allow me to say what I was going to say. So you go for it. Go for it. Yeah.
So the Titanic, it was an unsinkable ship, correct?
Correct.
But who got off the ship before it really set sail?
Mm-hmm.
That were the people that truly got to do the central bank systems.
Yep.
And the ones that didn't want to do it were still on the boat and they died. So that's how that
Yeah, that's right. So keeping that story in mind, as I said, we've reversed that curse when it comes time to those who didn't get on the ship, so to speak. And we talk about ships being, you'll have to mute yourself again, honey. It's going to echo with the dishes in the background. It's all right. I'll see if I can do it from here. There we go. So what happens there is as I said, this is all the part of the sinking of the old system. So it's about taking what we thought we knew about the Titanic, sinking it, cutting the cords is also relevant to the Strait of Hormuz, where we talk about the nuclear submarine that left, of course, Perth, Western Australia, is part of that cutting of the cords. So this is cutting of the final link that they had, or final hold of the central bank system. So that's why this Titanic anniversary is so important. We often say it every year. Yes, we do. But this time we actually have we can actually see the physical transition of the actual nuclear, like I said, the nuclear blowing up, so to think. It's not actually going to be a war itself. It's going to be blowing up of that old system. So, yeah, I hope that makes sense, Christ love. But the first quantum energy that came through before I got muted was much better than that. But anyway, that's the gist of that, Christ love. So
I'm trying to think what question to ask you so that you can tell us what went through your mind.
I couldn't believe it. I was about to say it, and then they mute me, and it's like, oh God. This is it. This is interesting, though, Christ love, because this is the power of what we call quantum physics. Or I can be thinking it, and that's what they do. They go, no, you can't speak that, because it's already, they can pick up the quantum physics energy about what I'm going to say. So that's why I often get muted, if people are wondering. It's got nothing to do with internet, by the way. It's all to do with quantum. But if you think of the question, honey, by all means come back. But I'm going to say hello to Little Purple. How are you, darling?
Oh, sorry, lovely. I didn't mean to press the button.
Oh, that's okay. Love it. It sounds like you're from the UK, England, Scottish, Wales. Whereabouts are you from, darling?
England.
Of course you are, the beautiful country of England. We will definitely be catching up with you at some point too. Okay, darling. Thank you so much. That's all right.
All right, then. Thank you, doll. Bye.
That's all right, darling. DD, how are you?
Hi. Well, good to see you, Mel.
Good to see you.
Thank you. I have a question, and I hope you won't get muted, because I wanted to ask you if you can elaborate on going off planet for healing, and is there a mode of transportation that you would actually be able to share on how that would happen? And also, previously you had mentioned about making sure the phones were updated, and I'm wondering if we're supposed to expect some kind of a notification about the GCR RV situation from the phone directly to us. And I use
Okay. There's like 5 questions in one there. But anyway, let's go off planet. Oh, my goodness. So if I don't answer them, please refer back to those questions that you just have. So when I talk about off planet, where do we go? How does it all work and all the rest of it? As I said, watch the video of the week. That's going to be dropped after the show, plus the video, as I said, that was posted over in Humanitarian too regarding the actual med beds. So when we talk about going off planet, these are through these beautiful places and countries, and we talk about the 12 portals, so to speak. Well, I think there's actually 13, maybe even 15, possibly even 17. So these are like wormholes that you go through. The video that you're going to enjoy, people, you're going to enjoy it. It's a very, even if you were not into aliens and UFOs, it's still a really easy understanding, very calm explanation about things such as wormholes, these portals. They're everywhere. And we often talked about in other groups about the hotels and how you can walk through doors. It's like a Harry Potter type story. You have the power within to do certain things once you tap into your quantum physics, so to speak. You can certainly go through wormholes. Time traveling is real. How do they release that is anyone's guess. Do they take it full on blown? to that sector. We will wait and see. I don't think so. I think it's going to be released over certain times, and certain people will, find their ways for the eyes to see and the ears to hear again. But for the med beds off planet, as I said, I am, who is a very spiritual quantum being, being part of the military as well, will certainly get access to that. DJT often talks about those veterans and that as well. So President Trump has always been very adamant about his veterans. These are the guys who fought the wars and the wars before we fought the war, and they will be going through those military med beds. They're not off planet, they are actually in military bases, although some of them may send them through their wormholes and portals and go from there. But the point being here is that what happens when we go off planet, it's very mystical, very exciting. As I said, it's like stepping through an energy field, and then you arrive in a different place. Is it going to be spaceships and things like that as well? Because we always imagine that we're going to be, beam me up Scotty type situation. There's many, many different elements and many different plays that are going to happen. But generally speaking, it's normally through a portal of some sort. Now that portal can also be a portal to a spaceship as well. So there's many, many elements to directions as to where are these med beds, where are they going, where they're going to take you. Again, it's not for everybody. It's a belief, it's a vision, it's your quantum physics. And this is why I talk about this transition of the 70s into the full-blown quantum physics that's going to be required for you to step through a portal. Now, understand, though, too, there's been many people, especially in the 60s and 70s, who already had those quantum physics energies that could do that, and they would often go off planet regularly, especially when they were more like children. We often hear stories of when people have said when they're 12 years of age, they felt as though they'd been taken off planet and then brought back at the same time, because time is so different. And this is why this video that we're going to drop today is very, very important to listen to. It's basically done in two parts. So it's not that long, but you may like to split it, digest it, and then come back and watch the second half. But it's one video, but done two separate parts within the video. So, and it does do a far better explanation than what I can give you. And he talks about the suns and the moons and the different, the fake moons and all that sort of stuff as well. But it's done. It's probably one of the best that I've ever seen. So I'm looking forward to you having the opportunity to, to share that with you all and open your hearts and open your minds, because that explains an incredible amount of what's going to happen there. So looking forward to that. What was the other part of the question? Because I love med beds and I love talking about off-planet stuff. What was the other thing, Dee Dee, that we're going to talk about?
Updating, the phone updating.
The phone updating.
We get direct notification about a GCR.
A GCR. Oh, geez, you're cheeky. You guys are getting really, really cheeky now. You're picking up on my comms. I'm going to have to change the way I do my comms, I think, although some people are still trying to figure this out, but does the phone update and why is it so important is basically that. It's not going to be the exact indicator, but what I'm saying is that having your phone updated, you'll see some very interesting changes in those updates that will indicate to you, oh, I think something has just happened. It's not going to tell you per se, it's not going to be a text message, but you'll know. Does that make sense, Dee Dee? Does that make sense?
Just look for something that's unusual during an update.
Yes. You'll see it. You'll see it, and then you'll know. But I'll probably be beyond just after that update anyway, so that we can talk about what goes next. But thank you, Dee Dee. You're onto it.
Thank you.
You are very, very onto it. That's okay, darling. So, oh, the sweat is just dripping off me here. Platter Girl, how are you, darling? And Colorado Mama is back in the house as well. So, Platter Girl, how are you, darling? These are really good questions, by the way, today. This is running really smoothly. I'm really enjoying it. So Axman has just joined. Hello, Axman from Australia. Very cool guy. Very tall guy, too. Very nice. Platter Girl, would you like to say hello? Ask a question.
Hi. Thanks for taking my question. This is
That's
about
okay.
redemption. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Great. I'm a Canadian living in Mexico. I don't want to do my redemption here because my NDA will be in Spanish and I want to understand everything I'm signing. And I don't want to have to return to Canada. I'd prefer to fly into the US. Do you think that will be possible to do my redemption there?
Absolutely.
Great.
You can do your redemption in the US. Yeah, as long as you got the right paperwork and you've done all the right visas and that to get into the country legally. You're not just going to run across the border, are you? You're not going to do anything silly, Platter Girl, are you?
No. Canadians don't have a problem getting into the US.
I know that. I'm just being silly, but yeah, because you're all one country. So, how does it work? Actually, Platter Girl, I'm going to ask you this question, just to throw a little twist into this. What happens with the Alaskans? Is it the same with Alaskans? Are they allowed in the US as well?
Alaskans?
Yeah.
Don't know anything about Alaskans.
No, there you go. Just sort of, just a thought that just came through my head. But
Well,
anyway.
I just didn't want to get on a plane with my currencies and have them confiscated by customs.
Ah, push the wrong button. Hold on, you guys. Darn it. Gotta reset. God darn it. Ah. Okay, I found it. Hold on. I'll fast forward where we left off.
For the med beds off planet, as I said. Man, how are you, Don?
Yeah, not too bad.
At the top of the stairs and walks in the plane.
Is he expecting a storm, perhaps, Lord?
Right about here, 45 minutes.
Possibly something like that, but there's some Q posts, and might want to take a look at that one. That one just popped up. I've been going since early this morning, and it's later in the evening now. But there's some interesting things happening, such as the Julian calendar. We really haven't talked about this much lately.
Julian calendar, you guys.
The Julian calendar. When you look at the Julian calendar, next Tuesday is April 1st.
Correct.
And you know that the Titanic anniversary the very next day. And let's just say this: it's going to be a fabulous week. There's many awkward things happening in the world, such as here in Venezuela, Colorado. Venezuela, right? Colorado. We're actually losing a lot of our Venezuelans here. It's kind of interesting. They're deciding to go elsewhere. But we have.
Yeah, she's not feeling well, fine to go, so yeah, she's gonna rest the rest of the day and stuff. Hey Terry, we got hour 31 and we're about 45 minutes into it. I'm not gonna stop, I'm going straight through. And I was gonna stop after, but I got 5 videos I want to get out before we take a break. And I'll be back on again take a break. Trisha has one that's good. Well, they're all good. And then I got a 10-minute Billy Bean from last night still to play. So, but we've been waiting on Mel. I had a good morning and nothing's going on. The weather's kind of, actually warming up, but no plans. So, a lot of things are happening. This is a good Mel today, Spaz.
We have a strange anomaly going on here because generally at this time of year we have a ton of snow in the mountains and a ton of rain comes in right now. But I was actually just stunned by something that I'm seeing here. The Mississippi River is dropping. The Mississippi is right down through the middle of the United States. And it's dropping to levels not seen in decades. And already barges are getting stuck. Supply chains are slowing. Farmers are unable to move any crops. And salt water is now creeping upstream.
Fancy that.
Now, this isn't just a drought anymore, they say.
No.
And we've got major shifts going on. And we might find out that there's a new Euphrates or Nile or something like that as we move forward here. So a lot of things for people to start keeping their eye on.
I think it's the flood coming.
You think?
I think there's going to be a flood. Anyway, keep going. Sorry, my apologies.
Yeah, I've only had to get on here like 4 times. I raised my hand and it would just shut me down. They didn't want us talking with each other tonight for some reason.
No, they cut me off before too, girlfriend.
I know. Every time we get on together, our phones mess up, the Zoom messes up. But the exciting part about this is that I think the key thing that you wanted to talk about that they didn't want you to talk about is we are done with the Federal Reserve. We're done with, and I believe we are going to have a major event that's going to happen that's going to bring the U.S. in and XRP to come in as the savior to save the day. I'm looking possibly, we've been talking for a few weeks now about possibly a Black Monday.
Yes. Yep.
And I did see briefly that somewhere Trump is supposed to make some big announcement on Monday, and I can't find any particulars on it. Have you heard anything about that?
I was about to say Tuesday start. That's what I'm going to tell you, girl. Tuesday start. Yeah. It's going to start Tuesday.
That lines up with friends in my places. That lines up. So it's a great day. A great day to be alive. And don't be surprised if we see things underneath the ground get cut underneath waters, and that banks that are too big to fail might be affected. So we are looking at about 3 days possibly. You might not be able to use ATMs again. We're kind of at that cycle again.
Yes, I know. Always being paid.
Yeah. Well, that is the point. That really is the point because
it is.
If you just stay prepared, then you're not surprised. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, it just happened. Yeah, I'm ready. Whatever. And everybody else is going to wonder what in the world just happened. And when they can't watch their as the stomach turns or play their games, and they're going to have to wake up and doing something productive like living and figuring out what just happened to them. It's going to be a gobstop.
Yes.
So think about this scenario. You wake up on Tuesday morning. No ATMs work. No point of sale works. No digital electronic transactions work. I think until people get rocked at their foundation, which is their money, the normies are not going to figure out that something is actually happening. And unfortunately, that's where we're at. Everybody on here is quite astute. They're in the game, obviously, because they're on your program and you don't put fluff out.
There's nothing fluffy about me, sweetheart. I can tell you.
No, there isn't. There isn't. But being blue-eyed, brilliant, and bright, you just lay it out there in the nicest way with a smile and put a cherry on top of it and say, "Listen, this is how the bull ate the cabbage, and this is what's going on." And you make the guys nervous because you are forthright.
Yes.
And you stand on your stuff. So yes, I look forward to the day that I say, "Hey, I'm coming to see you."
Beautiful. Sounds like a plan.
I'm coming to see you. So let's get real excited as we watch going into Sunday night and see how the Nikkei market starts figuring out what's going on, because there will be some precursors. XRP, gold and silver.
Yep.
And events.
Yes.
So those are my words. But out of the other 5 hours we could talk about, that's all I'm going to bring to the table tonight, because I know there's other lovelies on here.
There's a few people I haven't said hello to for a long time as well. But thank you very much, as always, to the Colorado Mama. And we don't get to talk very often at all. So please note that we line this up as we go live, and we don't bring all of this together for nothing. So, but the beautiful now, okay, so Elizabeth dropped out. So Axeman, would you like to say a quick hello? Then I got Charlie R, and then we have the beautiful Jimmy, and of course, All for Truth definitely has another question. So hang in there, sweetheart. So Axeman, how are you, doll?
Yeah, no, not too bad at all.
That's good.
I think in relation to what Colorado Mama said, like when she goes and says, that the normies aren't going to sort of worry about anything until they can, they can't get access to their money. Well, yeah, look, that's true. But, honestly, I just don't even think it's really relevant, because I think that, given the fact that, there's really only about 500 million or maybe 700 million real people in the globe. The rest are just like NPCs and synthetic bloody people, just to sort of present the illusion or perpetuate the illusion of this stupid fucking system, of the whole bureaucratic bullshit. And yet, because they're all just going to evaporate anyway, which really makes a lot of sense, because they sort of serve no bloody purpose to humanity and all that shit. So there's no point having them around, and there's no purpose in arresting them all and sticking them in bloody prisons, because that just sort of, I think it just sort of defeats the bloody purpose of what we're trying to achieve. You're just basically putting more money into them just to keep them alive. It's absurd. But also, I've noticed that there's a lot of arrests that have been taking place, and it's been under the guise of illnesses and fucking cancellations of events and all that shit. Because if you look at it, I've been watching the gay stream shitcom media, right? Because that's really good to watch, because only when you're awake. When you're asleep, it's not good, because when you're starting to awaken, unfortunately, you can still be swayed by the morons and shit, and start disbelieving and second guessing things. But when you're awakened, whereas you're at the point, whereas you can't be swayed. You know what the deal is. It's good to watch the bullshit, because they have a lot of information on there that you can see. Like I saw that Mel McLaughlin, and it even said, leftist Mel McLaughlin suffering from some bloody illness, I think, and they said, it's to do with the vaccines or whatever. So that sort of indicates that she would have been like arrested, I would think. And then I saw on APA, what's her name? The one that hosted Langdon. Now she said, we're having a bit of a blackout. Like there's and like it just went black and all that shit. Next thing you know, next night she's not even there. She's been away for about like a week or something. So I'm thinking, well, that's possibly another arrest. And then James Rain, he was on ACA as well. And because he's got some sort of illness, he had to cancel the thing. So automatically you think, hello, you've been arrested too. And then Grant Denyer was in a bloody car accident. And not only that, they showed the footage, right, of the car accident, and they really honed in on what was on the car. Game over. Now, come on. You're not going to get anything like more blatant than that.
Oh, absolutely. And we appreciate the fact that I still watch a little bit of that news as well. And for the sole purpose, though, I mean, you look at what you've just said, though, regardless of, what's possibly have gone on, there's definitely comms there, isn't there? We're talking about blackouts. They're talking about, and they're showing people that, well, where are these people gone? And eventually people will wake up. How we eliminate them, I don't know if we're going to be less. So.
About a couple of months ago, Jennifer Kite, who does that gay stream sitcom 10 at 5, she threw to Jay Kotick, the weatherbird, right, who was on location. And look, generally when they show them, they only show them at like half shot. There's no you don't need to show them at full shot. Very seldom do they do that. Now, Jennifer Kite even made mention that Jay Kotick was wearing a bloody moon boot. I'm thinking, the fuck, why would you, like, clearly that was a whitey direction.
Oh, absolutely,
exactly.
100%,
right.
and 100%.
Get this, right? And then they showed the full shot of a bloody moon boot, and then she's, I tripped over some ski accident or whatever it was, right? And only of late, 3 weeks, like if you fast forward for the last 3 weeks, Jennifer Kite hasn't been at the helm. Jade Kotick, the weatherbird, has actually been hosting the bloody thing.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. X-Men, I'm going to have to cut you short because we're into the hour and I've still got about 4 questions to go, babe. But it's definitely interesting that we have these people who, like X-Men, watch all the mainstream media. And it should bring you confidence, though, that the mainstream media is going down. So thank you so much to beautiful X-Men for bringing us all of those highlights. Charlie R., how are you?
Hi, Mel. How are you? You're looking exquisite. I love the colors on you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hi. Yes. I raised my hand after you mentioned Alaska. I am Alaskan. I was raised here. My dad was military and came up in 1974 and finished out his military career here. So what I think might be the second time you have brought up Alaska. And of course, that's gonna stay in my mind because I'm Alaskan. And Alaska has a very interesting history, as I think you know.
Yeah.
We were I don't know if any of your listeners know, but we were bought from Russia.
That's correct. And well, you were actually part of Russia anyway. So, but anyway, go on.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. In 1867, I believe, the United States purchased Alaska from Russia, but we did not become a state until 1959.
Mm-hmm.
So from 1867 to 1959.
Yes.
What were we?
What were you? I know exactly.
Do you get what I'm saying though?
I do. As I said, you were always part of Russia, and I think you will go back to Russia, to be quite honest. Yes. Oh my God. I know. We'll just let that one play out. But yes, it is the second time I've brought up Alaska, and of course, Alaska is also. There's many portals there. We had a lot of military during COVID stationed in Alaska, working on the Canadian border. So, and they were mostly Russian. So there you go, girlfriend.
And you know what? That's interesting that you say that. Does anyone remember, or do you remember, Mel, when Putin came to the United States for the talks with Trump, and he would only meet him in Alaska?
In Alaska.
And
that.
That right there was like, I wonder, So yeah, all these little dots are connecting for me about my state.
Well, I appreciate the fact that we mentioned that just a short time ago. So for those who are joining, I just happened to slip out Alaska and said I can't remember who I was, Dee Dee, I think it was, regarding is it the same process for Alaskans to go into America? So there you go.
And I was like, okay, she's on to something. I gotta talk to her. And because I fly to the lower 48, which we call the contiguous states.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. And we have no problem. We don't need a passport or a visa because we are one of the states. But then how you said it, it just was like, okay, she's going somewhere with this.
Well, okay. So when I say those random things, I love it when I get to talk to people like you. So when I say those random things, again, I'm planting a seed. Yeah. Don't be surprised if you see something from Alaska this week, something big to indicate. Might be not as big as Greenland, but there will be something about Alaskan rare earth minerals or something to that effect.
Okay.
And it's also got to do with the pipelines.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know about our pipeline.
Of course I do, sweetheart. I wouldn't mention Alaska otherwise. But Charlie, thank you so much for joining us here regarding Alaska, because I do expect to see and hear something about Alaska very, very soon. So,
that's
and it reminds
awesome.
me of this. It reminds me of this beautiful song called "North to Alaska."
Right.
Dun, 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 dun. So North will probably end up being South though. So we'll just wait and see how that one plays out. But looking forward to how that one plays out. But yes, we do expect to see something from Alaska.
Thanks for the heads up. I will, no matter what happens, whoever we may decide to be.
Absolutely.
I will always be a proud Alaskan. My heart is here. My heart
100%.
And my home is here. So yeah, maybe someday you can make it up there. Or have you already been there? I mean, here.
I was just about to say, have I already been there or what? Yes. Yes. No, not in the realm that you think, but yes. So we'll definitely catch up very, very soon, sweetheart.
Thank you so much, Mel.
My pleasure. And it's a big hello to Alaska today. I love it when we do these round the world trips. It's like going through portals when I'm on this show, just like people come up from all sorts of countries. So the beautiful Elizabeth, thank you so much, Charlie, for touching base. And I'm so glad you picked up on Alaska. And there was someone from Alaska. That's really cool. But the beautiful Elizabeth Ashton, I thought I almost lost you, darling. How are you?
Yeah, hi, Mel. I didn't get the button up. It disappeared on me. So I'm excited.
Okay,
it's the first time I've spoken to you, so I'm very excited. And I'm in Perth, Western Australia. So yeah.
Fancy that. Fancy that.
Fancy indeed. Honestly, Mel, you're such a blessing. You keep me going. It's awesome. But just about the news about Ben Robert Smith. I know. Is that Do you think it's a white hat operation? Because he's being tried in a civilian court. It makes no sense.
Well, that's what I was saying. That was who I was referring to. It should be in a military tribunal. So, absolutely, as Elizabeth, you are onto it. You are spot on. What are they doing in a civilian court? Well, it could be a number of reasons. It's because, A, to bring things to the forefront for those in Australia. And once Australians wake up about the whole military operation, again, like I said, I think this is also to expose the corruption. Now, this story occurred, I think, it was during COVID or just after COVID or something around that time frame. And all of a sudden it's popped up again. I had a very special girlfriend of mine and I were discussing it, and she picked up on that straight away and she said, Mel, shouldn't that be a military tribunal? I said, well, it's to tell you that military tribunals are going on. That's the first thing. The second thing is the corruption within the military needs to be exposed as well. We do have misfit organisations in Army as well. So these misfit organisations, will be dealt with through the military as well. So it runs a lot deeper than that, Elizabeth, as I said. So we'll see how this one pans out. But it's very interesting that he's popped up on our radar again. It's not by chance.
Absolutely, and the media are having a field day with it. And
of course
the way
they
did it when he'd just come back on holiday off the plane just to create sensationalism, So I'm hoping it will bite them on the bum, Mel. I really am.
I do too. I think it's, as Axeman did point out, there is a lot of things that he sees and then people aren't turning up for work, so to speak. That's basically what that was about as well. So, yeah, definitely keep an eye on it, darling. And
thank you, Mel. Thank you so much. Lots of those. Thank you.
My pleasure, darling.
24
the
minutes,
beautiful
guys.
Jimmy.
24.
Haven't said hello to you, Jimmy, and I'm sending you all
still.
the healing prayers that I can possibly send to you, my brother. How are you, darling?
Hey, Mel. How you doing?
I'm great, champion. It's been a while. I have you in my thoughts always, but I saw you popping up tonight. And but yeah, so I'm going to get teary-eyed because you and I shared some personal stuff, and
right.
Sending you some prayers right now, brother. I mean,
thank you. I came in at the end of where you were talking about med beds, so I was kind of wondering, are they available anywhere in the world right now that you know of? Because I didn't catch your conversation. I just heard med beds at the end. So
yeah, I know that again. Whenever I do, ladies and gentlemen, understand that when I get emotional is because I feel as though I've met you, Jimmy. I really do. Basically, what we were talking about, we go back to that same circle, mate. But
right.
how about you and I catch up? You've got my private. We'll catch up straight after the show, and I'll give you that update.
Okay, sure.
But basically, so I'm not repeating myself, and people can rewatch the show, of course.
Right. Yeah, I understand. I got you.
No, that's all right, darling. But what I was basically saying is that it is definitely looking like I was talking about how I spoke to some engineers here in Australia who are installing those 7 Ts that we talked about previously, and we're talking about. The video of the week is very important because it doesn't touch specifically on med beds, Jimmy, but it talks about the wormholes and things like that we're going to be going into to be able to go off planet to have those healings. So we'll catch up immediately after the show, sweetheart. I've only got about another 10 minutes to go.
Okay, sure.
So stick around and we'll do a quick call, and we'll probably do a bit of prayer healing with you as well. Okay. So, yeah,
thank
we'll
you.
do that. My pleasure, darling. It's an absolute honour to have Jimmy in the house, ladies and gentlemen. And he's fought for the country. He's fought for life in general. And, one of many people who we send our thoughts and prayers to as we go. So thank you very much, Jimmy. Appreciate you muchly. You're never forgotten, my darling, never forgotten. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, that pretty much brings it on. Beautiful Mrs. C. I'm going to say a quick hello to Mrs. C and Marge, and that's going to have to pull me up, ladies and gentlemen, because I do have work to do. So, Mrs. C and Marge, Nicole, we're going to say a quick hello to both of you, and that will bring us to the end of the Q&A today. So, Mrs. C, how are you, my darling? Sending you blessings. Very well, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this Mrs. C is one of our researchers over in South Africa. And boy, does she do an amazing job with all of her news from South Africa, keeping me up to date with on the ground. So thank you so much, Mrs. C. You have been an absolute legend when it comes to that, and is a true humanitarian in her own right as well. So how's things, darling?
No, it's okay. I just wanted to say thank you. And it's rather exciting to see things move in South Africa for a change.
Yes, it has been a while.
All lining up just, whoa, perfectly.
Yeah.
So if I overload you with intel,
oh no,
please
definitely not.
Me. I think there's some waiting for you already, which is expired.
Oh, that's okay, darling. Yeah. Nothing has expired, because as I said, I did apologise at the beginning of the show. I've been doing other things in the background, but I will catch up this week. And they're not expired in the sense that they still indicate, as you said, you've been waiting for a very long time in South Africa and many countries of Africa as well, for these updates that are coming through. And as I said, this is a global channel. This is not just Australia, although Australia will always be my homeland. But understand, ladies and gentlemen, we do global news, and to have this news that Mrs. C is talking about, if it is a few days old, I do apologise, but in hindsight, it is still indicating the onset of the amazing work. And it's you've never seen it before like this, Mrs. C, either yourself, have you?
Not at all.
No. And I did say it was coming.
Exciting.
I did say it was coming, and it did come.
Yes. But I know there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that have been on the chat from African countries. That's why I try and expand it a bit with my research. Because they also wanting to know. And there's no South Africa group.
No, that's right. Yeah.
And,
so we appreciate. Yeah. So we appreciate you, Mrs. C, more than you know. But it's always lovely to hear your voice, and send my love to Dad and all the kids as well. And thank you
they're
for
missing you so much.
I know, but as I change over, I'm going to be changing it. Yes, I know.
From Eva.
Oh, is there really? So I will definitely have to have a look. But just know, darling, that I will be with you very, very shortly. As I said, the changeover from the electronics that I'm changing over to, I will catch up with you and the family again very, very soon. So thank you, darling.
Great.
Sending my love to all of you.
Yes.
Yes.
Just you were talking about the 70 and that, okay, which I appreciate and that. Like the med beds are for free.
Yes.
Would the 70 not be free?
That I can't tell you, sweetheart. I really can't. With the changes that I'm seeing in Australia regarding our Medicare system, I would hope to see very soon that particular
16 minutes, you guys.
free for everybody. As I said, there is multiple changes going on here in our health system, in the Medicare, which is the free health for everybody, so to speak, where the government covers the cost of that. It is a very difficult question to answer in that retrospect. But I think once the RV has happened and there was to be a fee, then I'm happy to pay for that fee to get things rolling. But my understanding, as I said, is that there is changes within the health system. If we're having it here in Australia, I'm sure it's in other countries as well. Mongolia is slightly different. They're going to take a slightly different approach. They're using a lot of their heritage medicines as well. So that's going to be slightly different for that particular country as well. So again, it's not so much of a cost factor, how much money do we put in our lives? And I think once the RV happens, if there was to be a fee and it could help and assist, then by all means. But It's a double-edged sword, that question, honey, because I don't want to say, oh, it's free. Because
I don't think it will be.
I don't think it will be, to be honest. I agree with you. But again, as I said, as the system unleashes and unchanges, then I've always said, Mrs. C, nothing in this world is free at this point in time.
No. And if you got money, why? Because there's somebody else that you could help get it. But I've been phoning the hospitals around here to ask about the 70, and they'll think I'm crazy.
Yes, that's okay, honey. They'll catch up. They should catch up, I think, in the next month or two. So give them another 2 more months and then do the ring around.
I need an op.
Yes,
but anyway,
I know you do, darling. You know, it's you but we'll put you in our prayers. When I'm with Jimmy, we're going to pray for all of those who need healing and those med beds very, very soon. So, we'll send out some healing prayers. All right, darling. To the beautiful Marge, and then I love you too, honey. Send my love to the kids. Love them.
I will.
Love them, love them. So the beautiful Marge, and then we, of course, promised all for truth. Thank you for coming back up. Hello, Marge. How are you, my darling?
Hey, this is Catherine. I met you in Montgomery for dinner.
Oh.
Can you hear me okay?
I can. We had dinner at Montgomery. We certainly... Yes, we did. So, another one of those beautiful stays. Thank you, darling. It was an absolute honor and pleasure to meet you. So what a beautiful host you were as well. So thank you.
So I have one question.
Yes.
Pretty much the whole state of Alabama that gets serviced by Alabama Power is in an uproar because Alabama Power recently has just markedly increased their billing rates. And I wonder if this has to do with these AI data centers, and are they giving them breaks on their power bills and billing the whole rest of the state, or is it just to make everybody feel the pain? So when we get free power, hopefully in the future,
they'll appreciate it a lot more.
The difference, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we'll have to talk about that a little bit more. If you want to send me some articles on that, both positive and negative. No, I'm not on Facebook, but you should be able to contact me through here, doll, through Micah.
Well, on Facebook, they have a whole Alabama Power page, and people post their bills. Yeah.
Oh, I can access it though. Yeah, okay. So they have Alabama Power page. Okay, yeah. I'll go in.
And the other thing somebody I heard bring up is, are they bringing in all these centers under the guise of being AI data centers, but will they eventually be medbed centers?
Yeah, exactly. I have my suspicions about it, and the reason I do is because or are they going to be centers that configure the electricity as well? So they might be drawing a lot of power, and this is hence what you're feeling in Alabama. So there's a couple of elements to it. Are they drawing that power to, as I said, convert it to free energy, or is it also to power the med beds and that as well? Because these are pretty high-tech med beds, and they will require a lot of technology. Although they eventually run on their own energy, these med beds, again, there's a multitude of layers to it. In Perth, Western Australia, they had many layers to it, Marge, because they had what we call Tesla generators. So they took the power lines up the top, put them underneath, and they were generating different types of power. And these generators, which I think are these AI centers, are also, like I said to the boys one other day, we were talking about the solar panels and the solar farms and how they are changing the DC into, we saw it with Kafifi, the 5G towers. So are they actually doing something, as you said, to hopefully bring in that free energy through those data centers? So I think it's a multitude of these buildings are being built, and boy, are they big. They
Mhm.
are very, very
10
high
minutes,
tech
guys.
looking.
10 minutes.
They, yeah. So again, I think there's multitudes to that. But I will, as I said, I do have access to the Alabama Power page, and on Facebook, and I'm going to go in and have a little bit of a look at that, hun, and see what I can find. As I said, sometimes there's money being redirected through these big power companies to do or make these changes for us to have our free energy. So I'm hoping that I get to see something out of all of that chaos that's in there at the moment regarding the AI centers. But they're popping up everywhere, and they're massive
know.
centers.
Yeah.
They are, and it is concerning, and we have to be still concerned, but we also have to think positive. There has to be a reason for it, because everything that we've seen over the last, especially the last 7 years, has turned out to be towards this new quantum system that we are approaching. So
I hope so,
yeah,
because
so
there are a lot of
you can,
people that are living paycheck to paycheck that can't afford their power bills to go.
absolutely, and there has to be a point where this chaos has to stop, because we are suffering on the ground floor. We are all suffering for that, and even where I am, we still worry about all the little things, and it's important to worry about those little things, because right now we have to pay for them. We have to pay for them, not the white hats, not anyone else. We have to pay for that. So so again, we're doing everything that we can as well. So yeah, again, in my thoughts and prayers for all those who do suffer, especially with electricity. Just as well, sort of coming into the warmer months. Is it warmed up at all in Alabama?
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's probably a good thing as well, but it doesn't save you when you need some air conditioning and stuff as well. But yeah, my thoughts are with you, sweetheart, and I will, as I said, look into that a little bit more and see what I can
Thank
find.
you so much, and it was great to meet you.
Oh, thank you, honey. It was it was a bonzer of a day, and I can tell you, it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful, and we had a great time. We had a great time. All for truth. You're gonna give us the last question for the day, and then we're gonna have to go because it's an hour and a half. So the beautiful All for Truth. How are you, darling?
Hey, Mel, I'll piggyback on that, and then I have two questions. I'll piggyback and say that why does the government not want to have any more pennies that are copper? Because the data centers use copper. Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Oh, who was that? Someone else.
Yeah. So that was a state. So that was a statement. So the other thing is. The other thing is they save Israel for last. So in America, if you go and you look at our rivers, the Mississippi River takes off just like the Nile River. We are Israel.
Yes.
And so the other thing is, when Noah did his ark, do you know what kind of wood he used for his ship, for the ark?
No, not specifically the actual type of wood. What was the wood?
Gopher wood.
Oh, really?
Oh. So do you know where gopher wood is found? Only in one place.
And where's that place, sweetheart?
It is 60 miles from my hometown in Florida.
Of course it is. There you go. There you go. So again, we're going to quickly talk about this one before you get on to your next question, because otherwise I'll lose my track. Israel is last. I think there's multiple Israels, to be quite honest. Okay, so we talk about the Mississippi River. We have the Murray River here in Australia. We have the Nile River. All of these rivers are Israels. There's multiple Israels. Saving Israel for last. Israel is the flood. We touched on it, I think, with Colorado Mama regarding what was happening through the breaking of the dams, the Titanic, so to speak. When you think of the Strait of Hormuz, you think about how they navigate these ships through these narrow canals. They're almost like a river in themselves. We talk about it in the biblical sense, where we see how the oceans part, where Jesus walks down and it opens up into many rivers. I think Israel is many elements to it. I think it's going to be the flood of all floods. Does it happen in America last? Yes, because I've seen very similar things of what you've just mentioned. We saw it in the Murray River. We saw the salt starting to come up too through the Murray River here in Australia quite some time ago. As I said, this is a global thing. And I think as things have happened, if we were to look back regarding the Australian fires and that as well, and these were fires that the firemen were saying that these weren't not normal fires, these were generated fires. That was quite some time ago. So I think, yes, Israel is last, being, of course, that being the Mississippi River.
Just
So when I
smile,
went
you
to
guys.
Alabama and all of those places, honey,
Big videos,
understand
Jay.
the history in those places was so important to me, because it gave me a better understanding. So when we talk about the Mississippi, that's your Israel. Israel is last. Don't be surprised if it floods. That's what I'm getting at. So I just wanted to sort of add to that Israel. I think, as I said, we saw it in Egypt and the Nile and all of those things, the Amazon in South America, where we've seen many floods. We've seen Israel occur in Indonesia. We've seen many floods in Indonesia as well. So understand that watch the water comes into play so many times. Israel is in many places. There's an interesting video I watched the other day too, before I forget, about it might have even been on that video that I was watching actually, where it talks about how the landing of this planet arrived in the Pacific. Then they turned it into the CIA agents' forefront for the CIA's computer system, so to speak. So they may have destroyed the planet that landed in the Pacific. And I've always said there's something in that big bit of ocean that's supposedly between Australia and South America. They call it the Pacific Ocean. So please be wary about what is going on around you. I think there is many different types to this Israel, and it certainly is going to be interesting. So anyway, sorry, all for truth. It was just something that I had to download, and I thought I have to share that little bit about Israel.
No, that is amazing. But what I'm telling you is, if the Gopher Wood is truly 60 miles from me, they're also saying that's what the Garden of Eden is.
And yet I've heard the Garden of Eden being in Chile and Peru and all sorts of different places.
What's your market doing today,
But it does come to pass that if that Gopher Wood is, as you said, in that particular area, it certainly puts a perspective on. Then we go to the next dynamics, which I'm happy to talk about when I change over to YouTube, because if you were to not flatten the earth, but if you look at the world map and then you lay that map out, how much closer you are to Peru than what you actually realize as well. So, and it's the same with Turkey, where it actually landed, the actual ark itself landed.
Keep an eye on
and
it.
again, did it go through portals itself
Let us know.
to get there, to land where it did in the border of Turkey and Iraq? So again, many different elements to that.
But it did, but doesn't it, but I say doesn't, but didn't it have to go from somewhere that actually had water in order for it to be flooded? So you think about Florida. Hello.
Yes.
That's where we're going.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So yeah, I think there's a lot more to it. So with all of that being said, what an amazing journey we have to look forward to, all for truth. We are certainly looking forward to that. Well, we just
Anyway.
hit the hour and a half. That's all right, darling. We will definitely talk some more. Make sure.
Okay, that wrapped everything up. We did it. We made it, boss. So we're going to see how much we can get done here for 30 minutes. That'll be a little over 3 hours. I figured we're going to have a long, 2 big shows today. Kay had to step in the rest of the day. JJ, she wasn't feeling well. So Lucy, I got a third video. She came out with another one. I gotta see where I'm at here. We'll get to him in a minute. I hope a lot.
Guys, it hit me like a ton of bricks. It hit me so hard this morning. For all of you that believe in Jesus and believe in the Bible, I believe, and so do a lot of other people, that our end, when we're taken over by the Antichrist, I believe it's going to be this, the Islamics. Everything lines up. The Middle Eastern, the guy rising up from the Middle East.
I have to go back
the
to the
mark
beginning.
of the beast.
Jacqueline.
We've always been raised to think that the mark of the beast is going to be a damn ink stamp on your hand or a microchip.
He had
That's
two good
not
ones.
always the case. The mark of the beast could be the hijab or the armband that they wear. Now, before you say I'm crazy, I will agree. I am already crazy. But I'm telling you guys, everywhere just about that they have infiltrated, they have taken over. There have been some countries that managed to get them out. Everything is biblical. And if you don't believe in God, I understand. I didn't either. I prayed to a God as a child to please rescue me, or at least give me the strength to step out in front of a vehicle on my road because of the unbelievable every fucking day horror that I lived in every day. And it seemed like God wasn't there. Things got so bad. They were so much worse. There's been times in my life where I questioned cavemen. How did they go out and find brides when it was supposed to be just this one and that one? Oh my God, guys, I've been here. I've been where you are. I have been here. And I'm telling you, the Case for Christ is a movie. It's a book. The guy is a preacher now. He was an atheist, a full-blown atheist. And he makes it his whole point of living to prove his wife wrong, to prove there's no God. He's a journalist. He travels all over to prove to her so he can get his wife back because they're about to divorce because she believes in God and he doesn't. He ends up being a preacher and every one of his kids are preachers. The Ark in the Darkness. The Ark in the Darkness. It is a documentary by geologists, scientists, these waterologists, whatever you call them. They are not Christians. They are scientists, and they show you proof of after the flood, how our lifespan shortened because everything was jacked up with the environment. It shows you that people used to live to be 900 years old, but after the flood, we stopped. It's because everything got jacked up in the environment. They show you that the earth is not billions of years old. They show you the sediment. They show you that tsunamis happened during this flood and it caused everything to pile on top of each other, which our scientists think, oh, this is billions of years of stuff, but it's the same fucking tree. One of the things on there is the same tree with different kinds of sediment on top of it. And they're trying to pretend like this tree is millions of years old when the roots show that it's not. It changed me. It changed everything. I don't live a Christian life, okay? I don't do drugs. I don't do alcohol. I stay by myself. I'm not having sex. I don't do any of that, but I don't live a Christian life. But I'm fixing to change that. I'm fixing to change that. I'm telling you, the end is coming. The end is coming. We see it it's wrote out in the Bible. How can the things that the Bible said, we've seen them come true? Think about it. The Shroud of Turin, I don't know how to pronounce it. Okay. They have just come out with a scientist saying that that image on that shroud was not made by ink. It was not made by blood. It was more, the image is burned or implanted, however you say it, onto the shroud so intensely. It's like a nuclear explosion caused the shroud to have this image. I didn't believe since 2014. I stopped believing. None of it made any sense. How come Charles Manson gets to repent and he goes to heaven, but I'm gonna burn in hell and I don't do anything like Charles Manson? I was just like you. And so much doesn't make sense. And you say, well, how can God allow babies to be raped? How can God allow animals to be abused? But he doesn't allow it. And it took me years to realize that he left everybody alone until he had enough, and then he flooded the earth. He doesn't intervene. And I said, well, why pray? Why pray? It makes no sense to pray if he doesn't intervene, because he tells you to pray, and because he's a God. If you look at it more as an entity, a mighty entity that tells you what to do, and he's over everything, that helps you out. You may not understand the things that go on, but if you believe, and he tells you if you believe, then when it's all over, you have eternal life. And I don't know if this will help somebody. I don't know if this will change somebody. But it's here. It's happening. It's unfolding. And you can't deny that. And all Trump is doing is holding the door shut. But it's being pushed open. Trump is doing everything he can. But he's not going to be able to save us. He's not. You're going to have to save yourselves. How many videos can I make?
Okay, 3 powerful ones from her today. Okay, I got a 10-minute one. Flying Go, if you're still here. Nasara lady, talking about Nasara. So if anybody knows if it's good or bad to listen to, let me know and I'll stop it.
In different areas that I have been exposed to, and I am seeing that the majority of the population either has absolutely not one clue that there's things changing, and they're basing their financial decisions going forward on old archaic information. So I want to make another video and open it up for comments and let you guys know that there is a new financial system coming in. You probably didn't even know of the last financial system, what it was called, but it was the SWIFT system. So all of our credit cards, all of our mortgages, all of our loans, everything that we've experienced in the last thousands of years, but let's just say 50 years, it is all fraudulent loans. It's all fraudulent. The taxing of humanity is complete money laundering of all of your sources, your resources. All of your money was going to Washington, D.C., going to the Vatican, and funding all of their nefarious activities. So if you still think that you have to pay taxes and you're still paying taxes, just know that you are supporting and you are aligning yourself with
this one. Okay, you guys?
Dark side. And the dark side is no longer in control. You can look all of this up that you don't need to be paying taxes anymore, but it's purely your choice. If you want to pay them and you want to keep on doing that and you want to still be a part of the system, then please do. But you don't need to message me and ask me why I don't want to be a part of it. You guys are really concerned that the quantum financial system and the XRP and XLM and all of the ISO tokens are all somehow something that you guys are referring to as the mark of the beast. You don't understand that you're already in that program. We were already in that program. And if you took part in the scam that was put on the entire world and you took this, and you're a good person, but you took this,
7 minutes.
you are part of that. You are part of the quote, mark of the beast, if you want to say.
She's talking over it. I hope that's
This
all
does
right.
not mean that you're not going to ascend. You are. Please book a session with me and I can talk to you about this. I talk to people about this all day that have had the vaccine. They've had 2, 3, 4, 6, and they have awoken to the error that they made. Now, if you awaken to this error, then you definitely are fire creation and you have a soul. If you're soulless, like many people are, there's 7 billion basically clones or soulless people. Think about it. Is that who you're listening to? Is the person that's telling you that you have to do something, that you have to pay taxes, that a new financial system isn't coming in? Who's saying that? Who's saying it? And then if somebody like me is saying it, where I am fire creation and I do have a soul and I'm creating an entire world, which all of you guys are either going to create your own new world too, or you're going to be a part of mine and help me co-create this community. And we are creating this community online right now. So if you would like in-depth analysis of the quantum financial system with infographics and reports and ability to talk to me basically 24/7, you can join the Reality Shifters, and it's $49 a month, but that is a lot less than doing private coaching with me, but that is also available and you guys are taking advantage of that, and it is moving your guys' lives forward because I give you specific things that you can do today that will change your life. And I also run the Genius Insight app, which tells me all the little things that are bothering you, and we can clear them all. It's clearing the frequency using quantum technology that is now out. We have the med beds coming out. Okay, the med beds do not heal mental illness, and it is a mental illness. It's a mind virus. If you are skeptical, if you're unsure, and if you don't understand or have any clue about what's going on, it's just simply a virus, a frequency that's been put over you that we have to clear. So we have this technology out already to do this for people, and I've been doing it now for about a month, and it's really, really working and helping you guys to see what's going on and illuminate your mind. The quantum financial system is the new system that is coming in, and under it, within the quantum financial system, we have the Nasara law that is bringing in all kinds of things, technology, a tokenized system, a universal, it's not called a universal basic income, but it's called something positive, universal health income or something like that. So everybody's going to be getting this monthly amount. We're going to have a one-time debt clearing. I'm already hearing from some of you guys, and I personally know people in the last 3 years that have gotten their bankruptcies and credit cards and stuff cleared. And somebody notified me yesterday that people are told that they don't need to pay their mortgage. So it is happening, you guys. It is happening. Put in the comments any questions you have about the quantum financial system. Do you understand XRP, XLM? Where do you get it? That's your next question for those of you that are sort of awake and you're just now getting to it. You can get this on the Uphold app, and then you want to put it on a cold wallet, ledger.com or descentwallet.com is the one I really like. It's a biometric wallet, and you can store XRP, XLM, and XDC on it, okay? And XDC is the real estate component of this whole thing. Now, we don't need money. That's right. We don't need money for the future, okay? But we're in a transition, and we're going to be using money, and we're going to be contracting in this way until we slowly get people's consciousness raised and they come up with new ways of interacting with one another. So like I have people that barter with me, and I give them sessions or things, and they give me things that I would like that they have. And that's what we're all doing. We're figuring out who we are, what are our gifts, and then we're sharing them with the world. We're not doing things. We're not running companies. We're not purchasing things. We're not investing in things just so we can get more money. Okay. That's all a cabal mind program, mind virus. We are out of the survival mode and we are in the co-creation mode. We are in the mode of creating with the divine. So ask yourself, ask your guides to help you. Ask yourself, what is it that I'm to do? What is my mission? Why am I here? How can I utilize this information with the quantum financial system to further my vision and what I'm doing? Show me what I need to know. Show me what I need to do. Bring people in my life that will give me a direction. All those kind of questions you want to ask yourself, say out loud, and say during meditation. It is now go time. There is no more time of messing around and just wondering if something's true. It's all true. It's all happening, and it's all happening for the betterment of humanity. But those that refuse to wake up and want to criticize me and turn my videos in and get my lives banned for frauds and scams because they don't understand things, all of you guys are going to have the severe repercussions of this until you're forced to wake up. And then you're going to be scrambling and looking for people like me to help explain. So why don't you just join things now, join things early. Let me know your questions. I will see you in my new group, and make sure you send me a message and say hi, and we will get your vibration up and get you moving forward. That is the goal.
I wasn't sure about that one, you guys. Didn't know nothing much about, some people, a lot of people know about it, but I don't. So the last three, I'm going to play a 10-minute Billy Bean from last night, and then 2 short ones, and I'll be back at 7. Seven minutes on this one.
It is April 11th, the year of our Lord, 2026. This is breaking news just moments ago. Actually, it was about an hour and a half to 2 hours ago in the Straits of Hormuz. The United States military and Navy now have taken control of the Straits of Hormuz. Stay with me. U.S. warships just seized control of the Straits of Hormuz. The USS Frank E. Peterson, these are destroyers, and the USS Michael Murphy blasted through Iranian waters, clearing the IRGC mines, while Saudi and Iraqi oil tankers loaded with millions of barrels passed right behind. Ladies and gentlemen, this is in response to the Iranians, I guess what you might say, misguided bullshit that they are for some reason going to release or open the Straits of Hormuz. They did not. So now, our Navy, these 2 battleships, basically cleared the path, and now oil is moving through the Straits of Hormuz unimpeded. I want to watch this. In fact, we should all watch as this plays out, because as I've said before, and I have people on my team at EPAC, former Department of Defense out of the Pentagon, analysts, intelligence and counterintelligence analysts, former CIA investigators, a judge. We brief each other each week. More importantly, this, I guess, provocative move by the United States, pretty much what's interesting, if I can be more specific, we don't see any response. Well, the Iranians have said, This didn't happen. They haven't got control now. We have got control of the Straits of Hormuz now. This is in response by our Navy and the President of the United States, Donald Trump, to basically just take control of the Straits of Hormuz and watch if the Iranians try to get stupid and start blowing stuff up. They're not going to do it. They virtually don't have any ability to, I guess, retaliate. This is going to be very interesting. If I may say, for the last couple of years, I've been talking about the global struggle for the balance of power on Earth. China and the CCP have been making inroads for the last, I guess, easily a decade to economically control the movement of goods around the planet and make themselves or force themselves to become the number one superpower on this planet and control everything, economies, the movement of goods, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, they just got checkmated because now the United States controls the movement of oil around the planet. Now, having said that, that will control economies. For the most part, our economies run on oil. That's a longer story. Without oil, pretty much a nation of any kind, China, Russia, United States, Bangladesh, Chicago, Illinois, whatever you want to talk about. They don't have any oil, they're going to get shut down and the lights will pretty much go out. How do you create electricity? With diesel fuel, with coal. So having said that, watch as this plays out. It's going to be interesting to watch how the Iranians, I want to see what the next thing they're going to do. At this particular point, the Iranian IRGC and the leaders they're actually have become useless. Now, hopefully, and this is what we're hoping to see, the NCRI, the National Council of the Resistance of Iran, is headed by a number of, I guess what you might see, democratic or Western-thinking scholars, and they put together a 10-point strategy to turn the Republic of Iran, or the nation of Iran, into a democratic republic and allow the sovereignty, or to give the sovereignty of that nation to the people of Iran that think like normal people. And when I say that, what I mean by normal is Western people, the Western civilization. America was the first nation on earth to basically have a nation of laws to protect the rights of the individual. Iran doesn't do that. They're completely, well, it's a longer story. I'm not going to get all weepy and just radical here. Iran is messed up. The way they think, here's the best way I can tell you. When people in Iran in the last several years who have protested against how the Iranian government and the clerics run their government and oppress females, gay people, whatever, people in general, guess what the Iranian government did? They murdered their own people for protesting in the streets. 4 athletes were hung in the public square for protesting against the Iranian government. They were murdered and hung. That's what I'm talking about. Regime change was not I guess the deciding factor in why Trump decided to preemptively go after Iran. It was because Iran for almost 50 years was saying death to America. Trump was listening. Most of these people just weren't listening. Oh, they didn't really mean that. They're just bluffing. If Iran would have got a nuclear weapon, they would have dropped the bomb first and negotiated after. Trust me on that one.
Okay, that was yesterday's one from him on TikTok. 2 more, you guys. 2 more. A 10-minute and a 6-minute. I haven't heard him in a while.
From Traverse City, Michigan. This is Lake Michigan in the Great Lakes. And right behind me, that's the Northwestern Michigan College campus. And I wanted to give you an update on the travels. So we have put in 3 vaults in Michigan with members who are associated to the Michigan General Assembly. So I think that's actually the boat back there. I think that's the Northwestern crab boat. I could be wrong. I don't know. It says Northwestern on the front of it though. But anyways, as far as the I want to put this out there for the MGJA individuals that are going to watch it. As far as the controversy with the first Michigan General Assembly or whatever they call themselves, I'm going to do I'm shaking my pixie dust since we're at their head members area, and we've been trying for weeks to extend a courtesy before further solidifying our alliance. I'll call that situation moot and null and void. So we can go ahead and move forward, and we'll render the due diligence has been done. And that individual has been advised that they have any further accusations or claims or anything, they can go ahead and send them to me as the international bar member. But they were advised to stop using the federal post office, as that could possibly be considered mail fraud. So, and if there's any questions about that, they can go ahead and watch the firm, because that's what the whole thing in the firm's about. Further, I want to talk because something really fascinating happened. We got here. I've been here for most of the week. We have put in 3 county assembly locations. 2 are down in District 5 right now. 1 is up in District 8, up in Chippewa. I'll post some pictures. I just came from the Michilimackinac area, which was interesting, founded in 1715, and the Mackinac Bridge area. So I'll post some pictures of that. Second, we always expected this to happen. We didn't know that it happened, but it's a really great thing that happened. Yesterday, when we set up one of the installations for the access point for their vault, their county community vault, we had the meeting at their church house with their pastor, and their pastor agreed to act as the intermediarial minister for any controversies that should arise. The pastor is actually an American veteran under honorable condition. We sat for about 5 hours and had a great discussion, and he was happy, and I think he was excited. I was told he was excited that we intend to bring these judicial procedures back into the community church where they belong and where they should be. And it was a good thing. Also, he's an American veteran, so a lot of the language that we were talking about with international law and stuff like that, he was aware of from his time in the military, and it was really good. So we have officially registered under a founding organization our first intermediarial minister that we would recognize to handle and mediate controversies within the church, which is where we intend to move these organizations back in. So that's a great thing. Subsequently, I have one more county community vault to put in. That'll be tomorrow. And then the alliance, the further ascending alliance to start settling counties with the using the Michigan General Assembly founding documents. And an alliance between our United Republic and Michigan General Assembly will be done. That will subsequently mean that just like our Michilimackinac territory has to authorize a community assembly vault to be put in, or the subtrust to be put in. The Michigan General Assembly will be the recognized organizing, settling organization to actually settle counties within the United States of America and Canada on the North American continent. And that's it. So it's like we're starting the essence of what will become American canon law, which is our religious doctrine. We have our first pastor who has agreed to be registered to act in that capacity. And it's great that he's an American veteran. It's super exciting. And things are going well. So I'll try to do another update.
Come on, one more video.
As far as before I head out of Michigan and I head out west. So God bless, Godspeed, and thanks for everybody's support. We're growing.
Okay, we haven't heard from him in a long time. Okay, I'm going to try to get this last one in, you guys. 10 minutes.
Thirty-7% of filers qualify. Simple Form 1040 returns only. File now.
This incredible mold remover gel can restore your bathroom and tiles to their original shine in just 15 minutes. This incredible product eliminates stubborn mold and mildew in seconds without any scrubbing. Take any moldy surface, apply the gel directly, and watch the mold.
Welcome to Truth by Billy Bean. And thanks for like, subscribe, and share. Today's date, March 11, 2026, time in Texas, about 8 p.m. It appears that either 3 of the assassins or 3 of the foreigners who witnessed the Charlie Kirk assassination are now in Islamabad, Pakistan, staying at the hotel where the talks between Iran and Pakistan are taking place. And we found out that Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner are both Jewish. So could they be the targets? We have this from Raw, U.S. Intel, from Raw GPS. They have pinpointed cell phone holders who were in or near the Charlie Kirk assassination location in Utah when his assassination took place. And 16 are from Israel. We have 13 from China. We have 12 from Russia, and we have 3 from Iran. So what does this mean? This means that when the Charlie Kirk assassination took place, we had cell phone holders in the immediate area who either could have been the assassins or simply foreign witnesses from Israel, from China, from Russia, and from Iran. Now it's come out that 3 out of the 16 Israeli registered cell phones, 3 out of the 16 are in Islamabad, staying at the hotel where the talks are taking place, the Islamabad Serena Hotel. So we see that's going on. Yeah. And we have also from U.S. Intel confirming 2 U.S. warships, the Peterson and the Murphy, did go through the Strait of Hormuz today, showing that it's safe to go through. So I'm totally confident if this is coming out on U.S. intel sources that Secret Service in Islamabad is on this situation. So it'll be interesting to know, and if U.S. intel is putting this out, that they could locate these cell phones in the vicinity of Charlie Kirk's assassination, and now 3 who were near the location where Charlie Kirk was assassinated are staying at the same hotel where the talks are taking place. I assure you, Secret Service has been all over this. And excuse me, they would also know the identities of the phone holders. We have this from Benny Johnson. Details are coming out that prior to the U.S.-Israel
Join Planet Fitness for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal extended to April 16th.
After a career working for major energy companies, I decided to look into coal, and I realized
conflict with Iran beginning February 28th. Of course, there was a planning session at the White House, and details are coming out about the plan put forth by Benjamin Netanyahu. And it's also coming out that the U.S. military and the U.S. CIA disagreed with what Netanyahu was putting forth. So that's going on. And we have this. So the talks in Pakistan began early this afternoon, and we understand they're still going on with an unexpected arrival of 5 to 8 additional plane loads of Iranians from Iran landing in Pakistan. The reason they're there is unknown, but speculation has it that the IRGC, who were back in Iran, didn't trust the representatives, and we understand there's about 70 of them, from Iran. So that's going on. We have heard there are factions in the IRGC. This is a concrete example of it. I'm not sure how the U.S. Secret Service would have handled this. So we're talking about several hundred more Iranians suddenly showing up to crash the talks. So that's going on. And so now we understand they're in their 4th round of talks. And in Pakistan, the time would be 2, 3 a.m. So I'm sure the people involved in these talks are very exhausted. And the sticking point is Iran continues to demand control over the Strait of Hormuz, which the U.S. categorically says no to. And we saw this afternoon the U.S. sending warships through the Strait of Hormuz to demonstrate to the world that it's safe to go through the Strait of Hormuz. And we're also learning from another source that the IRGC is actively on the ground in Lebanon directing the Hezbollah bombs against Israel. So that's going on. And we have this. Yeah, the Pakistan. So Todasy TV reports 5 plane loads of IRGC. U.S. Intel says it could be up to 8. and they arrived just early this afternoon. And the IRGC warns tonight that it will hit all vessels in the Strait of Hormuz, including U.S. warships. So we see the IRGC intent on controlling the Strait of Hormuz. But Iran, the U.S., has taken out all of their navy. They do have a few people, we understand, on small islands near in the Strait of Hormuz. The fourth round of talks is now beginning at 2 or 3 a.m. But we're hearing this also. I've put forth in my last few videos that the U.S. military continues a surge into Middle East. Just this evening, dozens of U.S. refuelers have landed in Israel at Tel Aviv. And we have the Uganda military also coming to Israel to help Israel fight the Hezbollah. And we have this. President Trump, when asked about China supplying Iran with weapons, has said China better not do that or they will have big problems. Yeah, U.S. intel, 8 Iranian planes arrived early this evening. But the most striking part of this update is that 3 out of the 16 Israeli cell phones that were either directly involved in the assassination or were witnesses to the assassination of Charlie Kirk are in the hotel where the talks are taking place. And let's go over this again. So this raw GPS cell phone data keyed in on the Charlie Kirk location, and they can geolocate and pick up cell phones. 16 belong to Israel, 13 to China, 12 to Russia, and 3 to Iran. So if you have a problem identifying who are our enemies, this may add to your bucket of information. So it's good to be in prayer for America, President Trump, the U.S. military, and world peace. I love you, and I'll see you soon.
Sometimes baby steps.
Okay, guys. Wow. What a first show that was, huh? A lot of good stuff. I told you there was a lot of good stuff out there. I'm hoping I don't run out of breath, but I want to go on at 7 o'clock, get something to eat, and wrestle with Chico, and then I got everything all set up for the second show. I hope Kay will get better. Her rest. So good to see you, JJ. Hoping to see you on the second show. Thanks, Mods. Lucy, Kay, Carol, Tim, and KK. Oh, you didn't, Lori? I had it set up like an hour early today. Sorry about that. You might have to sign off and sign back in. Unsub and resub. I think they tell people to do that. But 7 o'clock for the second show. We'll do a lot of short ones for the second one. We got all the big stuff out here on the first show. Okay, Lori. Yep. All right. Yep. Thanks a lot again. And hopefully we didn't see Angie or Samantha on the first show. Sounds good, JJ. Love you. Be safe out there. Any kangaroos coming out yet? So God bless everybody. Love all. Please hit the like. And I guess no one wants to sub to the backup channels. The backup channel's been the same numbers. We gotta get everybody over there. Oh, you have? Okay. All right. So, God bless. Please hit like. Stay safe, stay strong, keep the faith, and there we go up. Signing off for show number 1. Chico Dude. We'll see you in a little bit.